Hello and welcome to Anarchs of New York, and we have a very different numbering nomenclature. I believe this is just, there's things have happened. Things have happened. Things have happened. But here we are now for what I believe is episode 5. Because we didn't count episode 0, which has been a point of some contention. Although I guess it was numbered 0, so really I'm the jerk here.
My numbers are
That makes-
apparently the issue with me and you, I guess. Digits below
Look,
10
again,
cause problems.
That's why we use symbol dice. Symbol dice. We don't need none of that newfangled numbering.
Isn't all of New York a grid system based on numbers?
True.
That's why I
Not
live
wrong.
in Indiana, Todd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
safe.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
But thank you for joining us again. For episode 5, is a world without pain possible? Then don't
No.
ask the impossible. Let us meet our vampires. Now, again, on my screen, my layout might be slightly different than what you've got on yours. So I'm going to call you out in the order in which I see you. Let's start with the emerald-haired wonder, who is much, much better at diceomancy than counting. Diana.
Hey, I'm Diana. I'm here with Level Up Dice. I will be playing Esther the Bruja tonight. That me.
And Mr. Mason Dula, the Dapper Dan.
Yeah, my name is Mason Dula. I'm the Dungeon Master over at Wizard X TV. We do Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu and all sorts of other fun stuff. I'm playing Eli Decker here tonight.
He's just a sweet boy.
The goodest
Just a
boy.
sweet boy. Yes. Emily.
Hi, I am Emily. I'm the corporate manager for Level Up Dice. I am playing Cherry, the Toreador vampire, and I am not the only half-dressed member of the party at present.
Hey, gotta make a party out of it, indeed. Justice.
I'm Justice Hughes, and I'm the experience manager at Level Up Dice. And tonight I'm playing Dmitry Volkov-Borosovich, the gangrel who hails from Mother Russia.
I feel like it's because some violence happened that Dimitri's whiskers have risen. Because they were down before, but like now they're up. Like,
just wanted to be
like,
fancy tonight.
I've detected. Exactly. You've
Hair
detected
rises.
murder. Yep. May.
Hello there, I am Melee Damage, and I will be playing the wonderful Asambra Avedon.
And last but certainly not least, a newly fresh-faced best boy,
Yeah.
Todd.
It's horrifying. I apologize. I am Todd Kenrick. I am the creative manager over at D&D Beyond. So if you see something that maybe feels creative, I managed it. And I think that's about it. You can find me anywhere you can see my name.
I can verify that is a fair assessment about your contribution.
Google me, you're gonna hunt me down.
That is true. That you have managed some attempts at creativity that I myself have maybe failed to help you realize your vision. But I showed up and I said words.
No, never. You've never
No.
failed actually at that. Other companies have.
Did you like the actually thrown in there? Actually, you've never failed at that. Like, he seemed surprised, like pleasantly. Go.
You know, I had to
Dave.
think about it. I'm like, wow, has B-Dave failed me?
The night's not over.
Oh boy.
I mean, he does sometimes think he's a tank when he's not.
I mean,
So-
girls, same. Like, I mean, we're just like squishy boys that just like rotate, jumping in front of the monster to like, ow, it keeps biting me. Stop it, please.
Oh,
Get it
that's my favorite band, Squishy Boys.
The best part about the internet, well, I was about to say if we Google it, we'd find it, but we might find something very different than a band if we.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's not do that.
Maybe don't, kids. Yeah.
No,
or,
bing it.
or do turn on safe search, zone of safety. I'm not here to kink shame.
Turn on
but,
Zone of Safety.
Turn on
Pass.
zone of safety.
I'm very sorry that I spoke. Continue vampire.
This is all part of the process. See, here's what they've yet to realize, internet, that I do these things and have these cheerful conversations to get them all feeling lighthearted and lower their guard so that I can more easily inflict aggravated feels damage. Speaking of aggravated feels damage, last week, the newly turned ghoul, Seth Smithson, ghoul of Nosferatu Hugo, told you that he knew that the Second Inquisition was on the way to Miss Cherry Thorne's home. They knew who she was, they knew where she lived, and they were going there now. You all departed the pillow party with Gigolo's blessing. He helped you get out through one of his side doors, and also gave you the necessary knowledge to come back, especially you, Hugo, as a cousin. Definitely you knew the side door to get back to visit Gigolo if you wished, but the rest of you had his gratitude. Again, he gave you a list of locations that he owns, that he thought might be hit in the future. He didn't know which one might be a target for whoever has been attacking these locations. Again, it might seem like this was weeks ago, but it was literally earlier tonight that you all were informed that someone had been responsible for an escalating number of break-ins that went to smash and grabs and had started turning into murders in the area. Again, you had a couple of clues that you gathered, but again, the violence is definitely escalating. Gigolo gave you this list of locations. He also gave you a disposable cell phone that would allow you to call a Nosferatu by the name of Napalm that operates out of Central Park. Napalm is in the employ of one of his primary rivals, Memphis, which he said it may be possible that Memphis is behind this, but at least up until now, they sort of had an understanding. You kind of operate over there. I kind of operate over here. Maybe there's the occasional skirmish kind of along the turf lines, but for the most part, there had been sort of an uneasy peace. So while Gigolo definitely said it's possible it's Memphis, he just didn't think it was him based on everything that had been taking place. Again, you were told that there was people on the way to Cherry's house, so you all departed immediately to leave, not before a certain Bruja realized that some of her homies had in fact shown up at the pillow party. If I recall correctly, none of the rest of you noticed, but Esther knew. Esther knew your crew crashed the party before an anomalously nice vehicle summoned by Eli to carry you all to where you were going. On the way there, Seth said something that upset Hugo that resulted in his abrupt death via neck cracking. Also, Avedon showed a surprising, not just capability, but comfort with high-speed body dumps as she slung his body out the window into the river as you all were speeding to your location. You arrived at the Thorne home at 79th and Central Park and quickly realized that the doorman was not the doorman. He had been replaced. Cherry quickly noticed that. Also, across the street, the doorman on the other building had been replaced with two new people. In the process of investigating this, Avedon sort of peeled off, and the door to inside the elevator up to the Thorne penthouse opened, and there was a woman inside with a gun at the back of Cherry's young sister, Apple. As you all got up to the top, you found there was a man there, a federal agent by the name of Jeremiah, who had a tactical squad with him that had your mother in custody, Cherry, Miss Demetria Thorne. And it said that you could help avoid having charges pressed upon your father, Winston Thorne, that were going to send him to prison for the rest of his life. Across the street, Avedon found that there was a woman that was helping run things across the street who had all of the markings of either an Inquisition agent or perhaps a hunter in her own right by the name of Artemis. She was very much not afraid of Avedon and in fact seemed to be actively looking forward to getting into an altercation with her and was not completely outmatched as they fought in the elevator. In fact, she did manage to inflict not insignificant wounds on Avedon, but was ultimately defeated, was both blinded and consequently embraced herself. In the midst of the chaos, Dimitri realized he heard an increasing beeping noise coming from somewhere inside of the penthouse, and you all fled back to the elevator that Mason, Eli, and Dimitri shot out the elevator cables to make it drop faster. And as you all were plummeting down the elevator shaft, an explosion came rumbling from overhead as you all now find yourself with the emergency brake in the elevator set with the six of you the newly embraced Artemis, your mother Demetria, and Apple. And if I do recall, you all brought Jeremiah as well. Esther had landed a particularly vicious blow that seems to have broken something inside of him, both mentally and emotionally, and definitely physically, that has left him somewhat inert as you all left. And you all now find yourself in the elevator, and you hear the loud clanging of a fire alarm bells ringing, and
Well, this is cozy.
We should probably make our way out of this elevator. I'm gonna try and just pry the doors open, see what floor we're on.
Hugo, when last we met, Hugo had made the extreme choice of physically dislocating nearly every bone in his body to be able to reach out and corral around Apple and physically protect her. And at this moment, she is somewhat in a corner with Hugo looming over her protectively, as he said he would, Cherry. And you, Cherry, are still there with no top on and a prominent bullet wound. Um, Inside, still going through and through with you. You'd healed some of it, but again, to even the casual observer, you are very much shot. And you see your mother's eyes are also looking at you like dinner plates, having witnessed everything that she's witnessed. So Apple is somewhat huddled up, but has very much made the connection that Hugo's trying to help, and kind of like, I mean, if there's a bomb over my head, maybe this isn't so bad. And your mom is more just like,
Is she uncomfortable with the Viking vampiric skin blanket that is me right now?
the discomfort is a valid word to use. Again, Apple is making no effort whatsoever to get away. She heard Cherry say protect her, and she heard you say nothing will happen to her. Your mom, Cherry, you know her well. She might be starting to like check out a little bit.
Yeah, I just look at her reacting the way she is, and I say, "What? Everyone's seen them, thanks to Paris."
Honey, I think your tits are the least shocking thing I've seen tonight.
Well, I guess your night is coming a little close to rivaling mine then.
Honey, can I ask you a strange question?
Sure.
Have I like OD'd? Is this just like hell? You see, like she is like reaches a hand in her robe because she was just sort of wearing like, you know, layabout homeware. She sort of like had like some yoga pants on, like a tank top and like a silk robe. And she does pull out one of her bottles of her medicine, Cherry, and very much start like fumbling to get it open.
I swat the bottle out of her hand, and I'm like, that depends, Mom. How many of these have you had tonight?
God damn it, Cherry. Come on, look at this. Look at that guy. His back is broken, and look at her. Her eyes are gouged out, and that woman had tentacles of and she very much just start like hands and foot like crawling across the elevator, like through you guys' legs, trying to get to the bottle that Cherry knocked out of her hand.
Hey, wait. Don't take that bottle. Who's the worst person you've ever met?
Besides my daughter? I don't know. Me.
Do I look as ugly as you feel?
Again, now that you all are getting this close of a look at her, and again, it's the increasing insanity is happening around here with the bells and alarms, and you hear commotion mounting up as people are trying to force open the elevator doors. She is, again, it's almost like she's Cherry's duplicate. Like if Cherry were 22 years older. But I mean, she's definitely had work done to very, very clearly approximate her daughter. I'm a little stressed out, right now, okay? And I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to remember my mantra, but my fucking house got blown up, and there is some sort of Viking monster apparently trying to save my child, I guess, and my other daughter's shot, but fine. Jesus.
Well, then you should be
Fuck, and
happy.
she
Your
very
children
much-
are fine.
Yeah, I'm sure with all the dealings your husband has had, you're not going to have trouble finding a new home. You should be happy your family is safe.
Safe remains to be seen, okay? Dimitri, give me your wits and awareness.
Gladly. Oof. That is 2 successes.
So the roof of the elevator is still very much open. You'd knocked it open before firing your weapon along with Eli. As you forced the elevator door open as well, you realize you think you're probably between the 25th and 24th floor. Again, the penthouse was up on the 30th floor. And as you all can look up and see, there's smoke filling up the top of the elevator shaft. You don't necessarily see flames, but there definitely was an explosion that went off up there.
Abaddon would like to go out through the roof and at least get up to the top of the elevator to get a better, clearer view of what's going on.
Again, it's effortless, especially when it's already open, to jump up, to claw your way out with the arms of Armand. You've got many options.
I'm starting late as well.
As you basically like tense a little bit to jump, you feel a hand grab your ankle. And Artemis turns up and looks at you with her ruined eyes. And she's like, I said, what did you do to me?
I gave you a gift. You're welcome. Now I have to make sure that we're not all going to burn to death. Please stay here.
You see she doesn't let go, but when you soaring leap, you basically shoot out of her hand and she like fumbles around a little bit. And you all hear and Jeremiah in the corner coughs and looks at his hand and there's blood all over it. And he just goes, well, shit.
Can I pat him down?
That wasn't how I saw this going. Give me. Well, he's kind of in no state to really like resist you too much. You find there is he does have a trifold FBI badge. His name is Federal Agent Jeremiah Ezekiel. You find his sidearm, which is a 9mm. It does not seem to have any kind of special bullets, and you watched him shoot Cherry. So it does seem to be a firearm. Besides that, there's nothing. He had the heavily armed and armored tactical soldiers with him, but he himself is not even wearing a vest. He's wearing a shirt, tie. Like he very clearly looks like a G-man.
Okay, as I'm kind of patting him down, so how are you going to survive that fall?
Ooh. Can't reveal all my tricks just yet. I might still need that one before this is over.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to be making it that long if you don't loosen those lips a bit.
Oh, God, she hits hard. And he looks at you, Esther, and he's like, it's so little. What was that, some pressure point shit? Ow.
That's sort of my thing.
Wait a minute. Don't lose lips like sink ships or something.
Dig, exactly. Loose lips, sink ships.
We want
I don't
his
think
ships.
that's
No.
life.
I'll loosen your lips. Then you'll tell us everything you know.
When you say that, Hugo, Apple actually kind of like reaches up and like grabs a bit of the cloth as you sort of had pulled it open to reveal the tattoos. She sort of like holds on for a second. She goes, no, Hugo, can we just get out of here?
Okay, Apple.
Like, and she turns and looks at you, Cherry, and she goes, Cherry, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I was when I thought they were gonna hurt you, I was really scared. All right, and I'm and she very much looks at your mom, who has made it to the bottle now. She sort of found it on the floor. She's yet to get it open, but she has located it. Yeah.
I grab my mom by the shoulder when I see her like frantically picking pills up off the elevator floor, shove her full body against the side of the elevator, and then I take my finger, stick it into the bullet wound so that it's got some of my blood on it, put it under her left eye, and trace a line down her cheek. And I say, Mom, if you want to hang, you need to fucking get on our level. And then I release her, and I like lean down and start like patting Apple, like to assure her things are gonna be okay.
Was it your intention to ghoul your mother or simply freak her out?
Just figure out.
Mission accomplished. She very much stands there kind of like unmoving, and Apple just sort of looks at it and she goes like, that's super fucking metal, Cherry. What? Upstairs, as you, Dimitri, are sort of looking around out through the broken door, and Avedon is up on the roof, you can start to hear down at the bottom that, like in the lobby, that the elevator doors are being forced open. You both deeply suspect that the fact that the emergency brake was tripped has triggered some sort of response.
We must get out of here now. This family reunion is very touching and all, but I do not want to kill more people tonight. Do you care for this woman, Cherry?
Who, my mom?
Yes.
Well, I don't actively want her to die.
That is, yes,
Does that
this
count?
is what I needed to know.
That,
I'm going to...
she just goes,
I'm
holy
gonna grab-
shit, that might be the nicest thing you've ever said about me.
Cherry's mom. It's probably half floor, right? I'm going to grab
Yeah.
Cherry's mom and huck her out into the hallway. And then grab Broken Back and pull him up. And then I'm going to climb out into the hallway.
When you pick him up, he very much looks at you, like very close, and he's like, oh, you're the wolf. I heard stories about you. Makes sense that you're one of those.
You'll keep your mouth shut if you want to keep talking tonight, sir.
Yeah, sure. You see, like, he very much is like, kind of like to the side, like with his elbow pulled back. Like, again, Esther, you broke ribs, maybe broke vertebrae. Like, he's very much like, yeah. Avedon, you were going to say something?
Yeah, while I'm up on the roof, I would like to, like, in combo, if I can, use my potence and my arms of Ahriman to grab a hold of the cords of the elevator and kind of move us just a little bit, like pull on the cords so that I can get us a little bit more level with the floor so we can get out.
I like it. Give me your strength and your potence and your oblivion to see how successful you are with this. All of you notice that up somewhere in the smoke, flashlights are starting to shine around in the smoke.
In the elevator shaft or on the hallway?
Yeah, in the up in the elevator shaft, up in the direction of where the penthouse would have been. It's impossible to say because it's dark and the smoke is billowing down, but somewhere up there, lights are starting to shine around.
Okay, so the penthouse we just came from, not just
Yes.
any. Okay.
Right. That direction. Again, the smoke is coming because you all fell about 5 floors before the break re-engaged.
Okay, I'm gonna position myself on top while everybody else gets themselves out, just so I can keep an eye out if they try to pull anything. And I'll grab Buddy's other pistol, and I'll kind of movie style dual wield, use my reflexes if anything happens, I guess.
All right, Avedon.
7, no crit.
You all, while you're sort of trying to figure out what to do, and you're like, Mom, get on our level, and she's just sort of like standing there, you guys see Avedon kind of holds her hands up in like the very darkness, sort of like wraps around her arms and the cords, and like, you feel the elevator like, and lines up with the door that Dimitri had forced open. You all could exit the
Let's
elevator.
forget.
Yep.
I pop my shoulders back into place. because this isn't the first time, and I pick up Apple with my arms, and I start walking out the elevator.
She just sort of stands up and she goes, I think you're the coolest person I've ever met in my life, Hugo.
Yeah, I don't. I'm dead, so that makes sense.
You got to tell me about these statues. Is that a tattoo? Is that a longboat? Like, what is the...
Yeah, the boat's very long. We didn't call them that, though.
Could I just sort of elbow Cherry on the way out and go, I think they're getting along really well.
Who would have thought?
It's really kind of cute.
Abaddon's gonna jump back in and grab Artemis and also walk out, but still holding on to her.
You realize when you reach for her, she sort of like pulls away from you and like slashes wildly with her knife, which like, misses you completely. And then she stops and she sort of like rubs her eyes for a second, like the ruin of them. And when she pulls her hand away, you see the jet black pools of oblivion are there. And she's like, what is this?
Like I said, I have given you a gift. You took something from you. Now I've given it back to you. You're very welcome. And better. This is much better.
When we get out of here, and she whips the knife around, and she's like, you and I will finish this.
Yeah. Oh, honey, try not to be so cliche. The whole sire issue thing, really overplayed.
Is I also wanted to still be on the elevator, just from behind, because I assume they're right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean, it's elevated to a hallway, yeah.
The back of her head, like, do you want me to... Just at Abaddon, seeing if I should just go ahead and take care of it now.
Take care of what?
Do you want him to shoot her, Artemis?
I'm just trying to... Yeah, I'm just trying to motion. I don't want to say anything, because she can't see me yet, but...
Right.
Abaddon will look, and she'll kind of be like, just shake her head slightly, and subtly, not to. Although, you can see in her eyes, she is still considering it a viable option.
All right.
She just puts the knife away, and she's like, okay. Okay.
Ooh, can I do something really creepy?
I mean, I felt it was implied, yes. Mm-hmm.
I just stick my face. I just start. I get closer and closer to him. Well, it's her, right?
Yeah, it's Artemis. Yeah,
Artemis. Oh, don't worry. You're not gonna live that long. The rot's already set in. You have maybe 3 years.
Oh, wow, that's bad. I can smell it, too.
At best. Yeah.
That's
It's not going to end the way you think. You're not going to be the hero. You're going to be alone in a hospital bed with no one who loves you.
You notice when you say that, tears start going down Cherry's mother's face. She just sort of puts her hand over her mouth. And tears start streaking downwards. And she kind of like runs out of the elevator into the hallway. By now, you all hear fire alarms are on. As you kind of come out and come around the corner, like people are pouring out of their homes. Like a couple of people come out and like a pot-bellied man wearing a silk robe that is very ill-fitting, and a young woman that is probably 40 years his junior are sort of standing in the hallway. And he's like, God damn fire drills waking me up in the middle of the night.
I'd like to grab him by the robe and just give him a clock to the head just to really stun him, and then pull his robe off and throw it at Cherry.
Yeah, it's not boom, boom. And the woman just kind of like stands there with like her jaw down, and let's see, she just when she watches you do it, and she goes, "Oh my God, Stevie! Wait, are you Cherry? Like you live up in the penthouse. I never got to meet you before. Wait, is it? Who are your friends?" Like she's very much standing next to this dude, like unconscious. Like she was like, "Oh no, oh ho."
The
Nope,
only thing
she's
I
an
find more
impersonator.
triggering than a hillbilly accent is the accent you're doing right now.
Yeah, she's an impersonator. There's something bad going on. She gets it a lot. Let's go. As I try to like muscle past her if we can.
Fine. I take the robe and like put it on real tight, like rip off the bottom so it's like short, and cinch it real tight around the waist and try to make it as cute as possible.
She does just sort of like stand there, and as you guys go running by, she goes, "Wait, is this not just a drill? Is something really wrong?"
He's a drill. Go back to your house.
Nope. Just a drill. Go back in.
Oh, okay. And she leans down and she just starts slapping the dude on the side of the face. She's like, "Wake up! Wake up!" And she just like goes back into the house, like very much leaving him like crumpled against the door in the hall.
You know, it's times like this that I don't feel bad about eating them.
Abaddon looks at all of you and goes, "You do know they're all going to burn to death, right?"
Irrelevant.
Wait, we're supposed to feel bad about all this?
Well, and Abaddon will reach over and she'll elbow out one of the fire alarms and just pull it and be like, "All right, now let's run."
Oh no, the fire alarms are going on.
yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, no, it's like everything the building can do to be like you're about to die, it is doing.
They like haven't deactivated it for like the fact that they've arrived or anything yet.
Mm-mm.
Then Abaddon will start pounding on doors with the arms of Ahriman. And is Stygian Shroud centered around me or a location?
You personally.
Ah, shit. She's gonna tell everyone to run ahead, and she's gonna bang on all the doors, and she's gonna try and make herself look like actual smoke in the hallway to make the humans think that it is on fire, because it is, and hopefully they will also run.
As you knock, a few of them don't answer. A few of them are ajar. You can see a few people did flee when, you know, the smoke alarm went off. I mean, by now it's about 3 a.m, maybe 3:30. But you know, the odd person does kind of come out and look around. And again, even the faintest hint of oblivion is terrible for a mortal. And you know, hold on, come on, we gotta go. And so you do see 6 more people do come pouring out of like assorted apartments and trying to find their way out.
I'm going to try to corral them with Stygian. Not like, I'm not gonna get them in it, but I'm gonna like try and like have them horror movie style running from the Stygian Shroud.
Wow.
Down into the stairwell.
I'm so upset by that concept.
Yeah, you do drive them to a stairwell, and those of you that are moving, you all get to a fire escape too and start pouring your way into it. When Cherry, you feel Apple grabs you by the arm.
What?
She's like, "Don't leave me."
We're all going.
No. You know what the fuck I mean. We're going to get downstairs and you're going to just like jump into an SUV or something and get sped away by your people or your manager or your publicist or who the fuck ever, like always happens. And you're going to leave me. You're not leaving me out of this.
Apple, you cannot come with me. It's not safe for you.
It's not safe for you. I want this. I want this.
You want what exactly?
This, which you're fucking bulletproof. Look at you. Like you're incredible. You're still like gorgeous, even though you're shot. Who are these people? Why is she so strong? Who are these hot dudes? Who's this super fucking hot, inky woman? Like, whatever this is you've got, whatever you're into, I want this. Remember, I had my own record deal too, okay? I was gonna get the movies too. Oh, and you burned all of that to the ground before I could have any of it, Cherry. Give me this.
You can't have everything I have, Apple. That's just the way the world works. And the more you want this, the more you think about this, the more unhappy you will be. So just go back to your life with mom and dad and forget about tonight. Just forget about it.
Yeah, the same life you couldn't wait to get away from. Yeah, fine. and she does like push past you down into the stairwell.
Wait, do you go to like a place that teaches you things?
I mean, I have like tutors that come to the house, but yeah. I mean, I'm not stupid, Hugo.
What's your worst day?
Besides today is yesterday.
Okay, imagine having to be stuck in yesterday for the rest of your life and nothing ever changes again for you. That's what this is. For me, I will never have my best day again. Be what you are. Don't be us. Be thankful. I'm not bulletproof. Not really. Not where it matters.
She looks at you with all the defiance that only a spoiled, misguided 14-year-old could look at you with. Says, I would take your worst day, Hugo. You are like a god. I'm just
Food.
the knockoff.
Apple, I'm not gonna claim to know your past, but do you guys believe in like an afterlife?
I mean, I guess. And you all are moving it. You, by
Yeah,
the way,
I
just
would assume
you're
so.
not just like standing there like Bob
Yeah, we just
Saget
stop in
comes
the
out and sits
hallway.
down. You're like, let's
We
have
pull
a
out a
talk.
podium.
Yeah,
No.
right. Yeah,
It's a
rough
good time for an
day.
intervention.
Yeah. She's like, yeah. I mean, I guess. I think.
Well, then you don't want any of this.
Could I?
Look, I'm doing all I can to atone for what I've done, but just trust me, you don't want any of this.
Yes, Esther.
Could I go ahead and I'm gonna use my dread gaze and just bite my wrist so that I'm bleeding and say, hey, if this is what you want, do it or shut up about it.
I of
course. She, as a mortal, is completely defenseless against
Yeah.
the dread gaze. So when you do this, I mean, she very much like scrambles backwards and like grabs onto you, Hugo. And she's like, okay.
All right, let's go.
And I try I'm like changing the conversation. And this tattoo I got when I invaded Wessex. I don't know what Wessex is, but I invaded it. It was fun.
You guys are, who has Jeremiah, by the way, because he can't really walk under his own.
I'm
Okay,
dragging
yeah.
him.
I'm
Yeah.
looking at his folder
He.
while I'm walking.
Oh yes, you did take the folder. Give me intelligence and investigation, and you can add 3 dice.
Could I also like pay somehow to have a background check just so I can pull up any file, any information I can find on based on his name?
Yeah, once you get not at this exact second at 3 in the morning in a towering inferno, but theoretically,
absolutely, yeah. I don't mean right now. Yeah, sorry.
2.
2. It's tough, Esther, because a lot of it is like legalese and briefs and things in like very small print. But what you can tell is it is evidence against her dad, Winston Thorne. It is you can tell it's like racketeering stuff. Like a lot of it is like white collar crime and just being like adjacent to things. Like he was responsible for loans that were generated that went on to set up like major drug operations and things like that. Like he has been like a party to things, didn't necessarily do them themselves. And most of it's not violent either, but it's things like, embezzlement, money laundering, things like that. Like he is a cog in a criminal wheel, basically. He said, you don't understand all of it, but it's not insignificant amount of like flipping. Like there's a lot of dates and like
He's,
bank account numbers.
Bad, but like not us bad. He's like
Right.
greed bad.
Yeah. He's greed bad. He is not like personally like done murder himself bad, but like helped facilitate people that
Catty
have done
corner
things
to
bad.
the murder. Murder adjacent.
Exactly. He is murder adjacent. Yes. He has an excellent view of murder. Yes. Do you share any of the info in that folder with anyone else?
Not right now. I'll keep it to myself for right now.
Mm-hmm. All of you give me your wits and awareness as you are descending the staircase. Because again, you all were like the 25th floor. Like you're a ways up.
That was almost a bestial fail, but it wasn't.
Yes.
Going
No
to
witnesses.
use my level up dice. That we're
Oh,
going to
hey,
do.
hello.
Oh my gosh.
Makers of fine luxury gaming equipment.
So
Best fail.
So what is the really bad or good success depending on how you look at it?
A messy crit is a 10 on your blood die and on one other die. So 2 blood dice or 1 blood die and 1 regular.
I got
how many
that.
blood die do we use?
Depends on how hungry you are. Each point of hunger you've got is a blood. You replace one of your black dice with a hunger die as your hunger increases.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be 9 successes, and it was a messy critical then for me.
Same.
Ooh,
Same.
You guys,
Crap.
same
had,
9 with a messy.
I had a messy crit and then
Total of
no
4
other.
crits.
I got all successes and a Nosferatu face.
I-
What does that mean?
High fives, guys.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you guys are all experts. No, Esther is still very much like thumbing through this folder here, while the rest of you are like, your eyes are lighting up like the friggin' Thundercats. Like, you know, how many did Avedon get? 4. You guys, was that messy crit for you or no messy crit for you,
It was
Dimitri?
messy.
You guys see Eli and Dimitri. I will let you tell me how it manifests for you, Dimitri, but you guys are like, you're running, and both of them sort of like look over the edge of the stairwell and kind of look at each other, and you see Eli just like vaults over the staircase, like over the side, like down to the next level, and then like hop over to the next level too and listen again. You hear radios and boots of like pouring into the staircase further down. You went 3 levels ahead of them, Eli, again, as you're like heard it, and the beast was like, we need to get closer. You guys watch him do this. Dimitri, you also react similarly, except you're holding on to the agent. So you tell me what Dimitri does. Again, a bestial fail. You do the thing you set out to do. The beast just does it in an involuntarily enthusiastic way.
And the goal here is to figure out what we hear.
Yep.
Oh man.
Just jumps all the way down.
Superhero landing.
You just land on him.
That's where I was considering, but what?
I mean, it's a valid
What
life strategy.
floor are
I'm
we
not here
at
to tell
right
you how to
now?
live your own life. I would say you guys had made it to about the 20th floor when you started, because you guys are coming down and they're coming up. But you're sure they haven't heard you yet.
And I just saw Eli jump down 5 flights. 3.
3. But he sort of like bounced like, you know, to that wall. He kind of Jackie Chan'd it over a little bit and then like kind of caught and is listening again.
Yeah, I'm gonna yeah. I'm gonna toss him off. Think flying carpet, kind of, just to slow me a little bit. So I'm gonna toss him and jump, and then I'm gonna spring off of him to get a little bit of a oomph around 5 floors down. He's done. He's gone, I think. But
This poor guy.
So you see Eli just off the side, and then Ezekiel sort of like, well, that was improved. Dimitri very much throws him over the side too, and you watch them like both of them like rocketing downward, and you definitely catch along the way that these don't seem like firemen that are coming up, Dimitri. You also are aware of this, Eli.
Okay.
They don't seem like firemen. They look like SWAT.
Is it possible for me
although
to
they are
rapid
wearing-
reflexes
They are wearing
Grab-
gas masks.
grab this before he plummets to the ground?
I will give you one shot at it with Dex and Athletics
Okay.
to see if you can get his knee before. For the rule of cool, I will say it is after Dimitri posts off of him, but before he splats on the concrete.
That's what I was gonna ask. I don't know how low he's planning to post off. Of him.
It's you know what? It's gonna work because how can that not work?
We'll see.
Body surfing takes on just like a whole new meaning now.
That is true, literally.
I got. Let's see, and so it only counts as 2 if there's 2 crits, right?
Right.
Okay. Then
Or
I
it
got
counts
3.
as 4 if there's 2.
Oh, well, sorry. Yes. 3 successes then.
3. I will say you do get his foot, but he boom pancakes on the side of it. He does. I mean, like he very much grunts. As Dimitri, you do land at the base of the elevator, at the base of the stairwell. Now, give me Dex and Athletics to see how cool and silently you do it. Like, is it the full superhero landing that like craters the concrete under it, or are you like a cat? Let's find out.
I'm not great at athletics.
Again, girl, same.
That is a success on my hunger die and
2 success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 successes, but 1 is on a hunger die.
You do it, but I mean, you very much like boom, and you hear like voices up ahead, like, the hell was that? The rest of you did not notice this, but you did see the 2 of them just like leap into superhero action while you're still up at the coming down the staircase.
So just for visual, Eli's at like 17, everybody else is around 20, and the SWAT is somewhere between me and them.
Yep. And you've got a fairly clear view of the lobby, but you also can see from here there are flashing blue and red lights outside. Like there is a 911 response that is taking place that you clearly can see through the lobby from the staircase, and there's the SWAT team between you and your friends.
Can I lift him back up? Like just flip him around real quick. You've got about 5 seconds before I let you fall the rest of the way. Tell me what we need to do to get them to back off.
Fucking surrender.
3, 2. I'm just gonna keep counting down.
Okay, wait. Let me talk to him. Hey, okay. If I say something shady, you can throw me over the side, right?
All right. Does he still have one of the radios on him at this point?
I think someone said they took it from him.
I think it
if
was
I recall.
Dimitri, I think.
Yeah, I think Dimitri said he took it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know I
plan.
crushed
Bro, I
it.
think he said
Wait,
broke
do I
it,
hear
yeah.
him say that? Like if he says something shady?
Give me wits and awareness. He's a little ahead of you, but it's an echoey staircase. Let's see.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Maybe. I would say the rest of you very much saw him catch him, and now sort of like, and he's like,
1, 2, 3 successes.
yeah, I'll say you heard him. Say if I say something shady, you can throw me over the side.
I just say very loud. Oh no. It wouldn't be that fast. It wouldn't be that fast at all if you say something shady.
Apple just sort of looks at you, and she just goes, so metal.
The whole
He's
thing
just-
there.
Yeah, he's like, look, okay, let me do it. Let me do it, okay? What is Abaddon doing during all this?
She's got her eyes peeled, looking for another way out. If there's a side exit or window out of an office or anything that we can like kind of shove everybody through or anything like that, so we don't have to go face first into a horde of police.
You could break out into any of the floors. There's doors to each individual floor as you're going past. You also know some of those people went a different direction, so there may be another staircase. I mean, again, this is a huge building. There's got to be other staircases.
Yeah, she's gonna go looking for that, and she's gonna make eyes at everybody and be like, "No, go look over there."
Can I take out my Nosferatu, which I kind of expect is a flip phone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I take my yellowish nail and I kind of poke it, open up the clamshell. I just press 1 on my contacts.
The phone that Gigolo gave you, or a phone that you already owned?
Gigolo.
Okay. Yeah, buddy, I didn't think you were gonna call so quick.
Yeah, no. How long ago was that? Okay, never mind. So we are on, what floor are we on right now? All of you on
20th floor.
20th floor. Do you guys like have harpoons or like ropes that shoot out into the air, or like a bridge or magic that could get us off that floor?
We ain't like the fucking Neverland pirates from Peter Pan, buddy. But I mean, if you can get down to the basement, to the substructure, we can get you out of there, sure. We can get you out of anywhere.
And Peter Pan's a very good novel. Most people haven't read it, though.
Yeah, no,
Kills like
J.M.
23
Barrie was a
pirates.
decent guy, yeah.
It's all about him killing pirates, though. It's very inappropriate for children.
Yeah, this, are you at 79th and Central Park?
Yes.
Yes.
That is not one of the establishments that I gave you on the list, Hugo. I mean, hey, it's your business. Yeah, if you can get down to the basement, we'll get you out of there.
I'm not good with numbers, okay?
That's,
We'll get to the basement, the bottom.
yeah.
Then you'll take us to the top.
Yeah, buddy, whatever you want, sure.
Okay. Everyone, we go to the basement, and then they're gonna take us away.
Who's they?
The person who's on this phone right now. I already forgot who I was talking to.
I don't. Am I on speakerphone? I don't. Okay. Yeah. Hello.
Oh,
Hello?
God.
Wait. Oh, hey, Jerry. Hey. All right. Yeah. Sure. Of course. We'll do what we can. Yeah, you can make sure you bring that like cute little dark-haired number back with you too. No, I'm just joking. I'm just fucking with you. Respect. Yeah. See you in the basement. Bye. And the line goes dead.
Could I,
It's a very inappropriate tiny piece of device.
Avedon is still
I told you I'd get you a better one.
gesturing to this other.
Yes, Esther.
Avedon is still gesturing to this other doorway, right?
Yeah, presumably she's going through it. Yeah, it's not locked or anything. It's just yeah.
I'm gonna look at her, just wink real quick, and then sort of. I would like to, hop backwards over the railing and sort of parkour my way down to join Dimitri, so he's not down there alone.
Give me your dex and athletics.
As I see her doing this, I'm gonna throw the guy just kind of back into the wall a little roughly. Oh, Hugo, you know what to do if he does anything shady, and I'm gonna also try and hop my way down.
He's like, well, I mean, am I saying something, or you just okay? No, just do it your way.
Wait,
does
do I
this sort
kill
of-
him if he says something? Because he just did.
You
I'm
see,
gone. I'm gonna leave it up to Hugo's imagination.
Cherry's mom looks at, like, when you open the door, Avedon, she very much like files in behind you, and she's like, Cherry, come on, let's go.
What is this guy's name? What is this? Wait, who am I hanging on to right now?
Ezekiel?
It was Jeremiah Ezekiel.
Jeremiah,
He's the
okay.
agent. Yeah, it is both. It is
JZ.
Agent Jeremiah Ezekiel.
What's in the room?
You're basically back in another hallway, like the same way you came out of a hallway down in here, because you know, like each floor is kind of the same. You know how there was like homes, condos. You're just on a different floor.
And just to be clear, when we like look down the stairwell before I went out that door, it's just like nothing but like police down there that we can hear.
By now, you're kind of putting it together. Yeah, that there is a armed response heading your direction. Yes.
When we get into that hallway, I would like to go towards, like, check the windows and see which one leads to like a back alley of some sort with maybe a possible fire escape. And look to see if there's like an open side of the building that doesn't seem to have like police cars and stuff around it, like possible alley we can jump down into.
Do you say this out loud, or are you just looking?
I say this not to any of the not to any of the new kids, but whoever's still close enough by me that's our little family.
Well, I say this because, Cherry and her mother and her sister live here, so they would know that, but they wouldn't know it unless you tell them that's what you're looking for.
Essentially, I would like try and say it out of earshot of Artemis or any of the other agents that were there. But yeah, the family would be fine.
Well, then, Cherry, I would say she tells you that this is what you're after, and yeah, where there's again, the building is a very prominent, very beautiful building, but I mean there is one side of it that you think there might not, at least it would be out of the view of the street. Yep.
Yeah. Well, there's, I mean, for caterers and everything, like there's that back entrance. It's not the freight entrance, but it's not the front entrance, and yeah, we can go there.
Is there a fire escape over there by the window by the stairs? Can we get down?
On the back side, there is an external fire escape. Yeah.
Yeah, the building commission tried to oppose it, but like legally we had to have it. So yeah.
I mean, they are dreadfully ugly, yes. But safety nonetheless. I think if we get everybody down through here, I heard something. Did I hear something about a rendezvous in the basement?
The creepy guy from the club, the gross, whatever his name was, he wants us to meet him in the basement where he's going to help us escape, but I personally don't think we should take his help.
Well, I mean, we can get out of here at least, I hope. I mean, if we get through the back alley, we'll figure it out. I'm sure there's even a sewer or something down there if we have to. It's street level, but yeah, I think we should do that. You guys ready to climb?
You see your mom very visibly is like, oh, yes.
Mom, and I like smack her across the face. Say, Mom, you're gonna wake up, you're gonna climb down this fire escape, you're gonna call the driver, and you're gonna take Apple and go to the Hamptons and get the fuck out of here, okay?
No, she is not. I am not going to the fucking Hamptons. I told you that you were gonna do this, Cherry. I told you that you were gonna try and leave me.
Hey. If you two don't stop, I'm gonna yeet your ass to the Hamptons. Get down the damn fire escape, please. And I'm gonna wait for most of them to get down there, and I'm gonna pull Cherry aside, and I'm gonna tell her, I don't know if I trust our rendezvous either. So when we get down there, let's keep an eye on the basement and make sure our friends are okay. And if they're not, we'll go through the windows and get them out of there.
Works for me.
Hugo, you were there with them. Yeah. Well, actually, I take that back. Hugo, you tell me. Hugo would have actually been a few steps ahead because, again, Eli went over the side and literally caught him as he was falling to his death. So he's actually a couple of steps down, but you can see him. But they would be leaving to go out through through another door on this floor. So is Hugo going to go with them to get the family to safety or try and recover Eli?
Oh, no. Wait, I was told Ezekiel. Am I near Ezekiel?
Agent Jeremiah Ezekiel.
Am I near Agent Jeremiah Ezekiel?
Oh, you can be if you want to be. Basically, you would need to go down to him. He's not moving. He kind of can't. He's beat to hell. But so you could go down.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to at least walk over him, and I want to ask him a question. Wait, did you help us? Did you call them off?
He didn't ask me to. Am I supposed to? He just jumped over the railing like a goddamn superhero.
Wait, but what are you doing right now here on the floor?
What do you need me to do, Heimdall, or whatever the fuck you are?
I'm confused. Did you help us?
What do you want me to do, man?
Oh. I'm confused.
Would you like me to try and call them off?
I thought you were supposed to do that, weren't you? Weren't you supposed to try to get them to leave us alone?
He's like, just hold on a second. And he gets ready to... Meanwhile, Dimitri, you on the floor, before any of the others arrive. Again, you have a clear view of the lobby if you were to flee, or you could go up and catch these guys from behind.
Dimitri has this sense of duty. Well, so I can't tell anything else that's going on. The only thing I know right now is that there's SWAT going up towards them, and they're between me and my group, right?
And you're clear. There's definitely like a full 911 response outside. Like you see flashing blue and red lights. Like I mean, emergency response vehicles are outside the building. Like the whole lobby is kind of like aglow with the strobe lights of various emergency vehicles. But otherwise, appears to be
without knowing anything about the basement rendezvous or the other party yeeting.
Yeah, that part you are not aware of.
I'm still going to have in my head that I need to get to the basement or to the service elevator. Either of those, because I know they exist. But first, I'm going to sneak up. I'm going up behind SWAT. I'm trying to get up behind them.
Give me your dex and stealth to see if you can close in on them before they realize it.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes, you go.
A situational question. So I've been trying to make sure I'm near Apple at all times, but I'm also talking to this dude. I am duty bound to protect Apple. Yeah, and I need to go to the basement.
You heard, like, you would have heard Apple like yelling at Cherry. That is like, I told you that you were gonna try, and I'm not going in the fucking Hamptons. Like you would have heard that that whole exchange. Yeah.
So I'm near Ezekiel. I hope I'm close to Apple at the same time. Is that true?
You can see her. Same thing. He was kind of down because remember Eli jumped off the side and went down a few floors, and then Ezekiel got thrown off the side. So
how many floors do we have?
I would say you guys were still coming down until you stopped. So I'd say you're 2 floors apart. But I mean, you can see her.
I mean, to the basement.
Oh, you don't know. You're about the 16th, 17th floor.
Oh, that's fine. Apple. Do you like carnival rides?
Yeah.
Okay. Get on my back.
She very much is like, yeah, all right, but she's within reach of both Avedon and Cherry. If either of you like attempt to stop her, because otherwise she's like, yeah, all right, fuck the Hamptons. Yeah.
Hugo,
I mean, like,
what are you doing?
I'm not gonna hurt her. I'm just gonna get her away from the danger right away. And Ezekiel, is that your name? I'm sorry. Hey, Bible name. You want to help save people, right?
Yeah, that's my job.
That's your whole job. Like, this girl is mortal and you want to save her.
Yeah, I want this kid to be fine. Yeah.
You want to be a hero.
I want to do my job. Protect and serve. Yeah.
You are going to. And I grab him and I jump off the stairwell and I'm using him as a flesh parachute. I am using him to squish and soften the impact of Cherry on top of my back with my own body,
back, right?
and I am squishing into him when we fall 17 floors.
How? So what was that stealth there, Dimitri? By the way,
4 for 4.
Yeah. No, they're making a ton of noise going up. You know, they're, and they're breathing heavy through their gas mask and everything, and their views are obstructed. They have no idea that as you're getting closer, there's 10 of them, Dimitri. You can sort of like get a head count as they kind of like round the curve up there. You know, they're coming up with their guns tucked. I mean, they're
Is anybody familiar with the World War II Medal of Honor winner Sergeant York? A little history lesson here. He took out a whole line of Germans by taking them from the back first. That's the goal. One at a time. Just working my way.
No anxiety that day.
Let's see here. Hang on. Strength and brawl is what you need.
Yes.
I rolled for literally all of them to see if they notice. Hold on here. I'm still going to need you to roll because if nothing else, you might best you'll fail. But this was their chance to realize what was happening.
Yes.
So, yeah.
That's that's not so great.
Yeah, their minds are
humans.
their minds
This
are elsewhere.
elite
Right
SWAT
now.
The world of
team.
darkness.
They're like hup, 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 hup. Yeah, like
When
it's
when you see no symbols, it's not good.
yeah, generally negative. Generally negative. Yes. Eli. Actually, I think Esther had gone over next. Esther, what was your athletics when you were just
I
trying
had
to see
2
if you could?
successes on the way down.
Again, you get. Well, did you want to go all the way to the bottom, or are you trying to kind of get?
I want to go all the way to the bottom.
Okay. You also come down, but you are slightly. Actually, no, you're exactly as gracious. But again, with their terrible perception, I will see they don't notice you. Like, and you see Dimitri creeping up and like. What does Esther do? As you see, he's kind of disassembling
Well,
these
we're
guys.
in the lobby, and I can see him sneaking up to, commit some mass murder. So, I want to try and take a peek of what the scene is out front, and see if I can do that without being noticed.
Give me your wits and awareness. Eli, you also were coming down, so I guess give me your athletics to see how effective you were.
Just athletics.
Oh, Dex and athletics. Yes.
Okay,
That's 3.
that feels a little better.
3. You peek out, and again, there are police and fire trucks. You see a large SWAT van. You see several news trucks, and you also see like a helicopter surveying the area nearby. And across the street, there is a large crowd of onlookers. And there is a TV on in the base in the lobby as you're coming through, and the news is airing saying a terrorist attack at 79th and Central Park. And there is footage of the building with the top of it is completely in flames.
Cool. Could you remind me? Because I really want an excuse to use this, but the time has to be right. Remind me how Spark of Rage works.
So, Spark of Rage, hang on just 1 second here.
Would I be able to direct that at the group of onlookers across the street?
Well, you know what? Let me double check it because this is not. First of all, I like where this is headed. I actually do believe you can affect a group of mortals. Let me just make sure.
It is season finale Westworld season 2.
It is not. I would say spoiler alert, but the statute of limitations is up. That was like a year ago.
You should have watched it. It was great. Well, it wasn't great, but it was. I love the show.
You can, in fact, incite a crowd to violence.
Yes.
Let me see here.
Yes, season 3 is amazing.
Yes, yeah, you absolutely can use it to incite a crowd to violence.
I would like to do that.
Esther. Mortals, again, are defenseless against kindred powers. So is you just sort of like focus your attention across the street at them. You see 2 dudes are kind of like craning their neck, and one of them sort of like, get off me, man. Like, get off of me. Like, hey, what's wrong with you? And then you just see like chaos starts to erupt across the street. And you see like one of the cameramen turns around and starts filming that and gets kicked in his face. And like the cops stop what they're doing and rush over, and like all hell is breaking loose out front. So much so you even see on the newscast, which is live, the camera pans away from the burning building to this like brawl breaking out on the other side of the street there. Looks like the coast may in fact be clear. Eli, how many successes was that for you?
I only got 2.
Same thing. Was your intention to go all the way to the bottom or try and stop midway down?
I mean, I'd probably take it a little more gracefully, because if there's both of them down there, I feel
well,
like
Dimitri has moved out of the way, and Esther would have moved out of the way also. So like you don't feel like you're going to like land on their heads or anything.
Oh well, then yeah, sure.
That's Hugo's
I'll
job.
go all the way down.
Okay. You also see Esther sort of looking outside with this satisfied grin on her face, and Dimitri sort of like working his way through these SWAT guys who still are somehow woefully not clear that this is happening.
Okay, but I do land, so they're just. I see him taking them out from the one side.
Mm-hmm.
Have they noticed the rage-induced fight breaking out across? Okay.
No, they're in the stairwell. They have no idea. Yep.
Then do I see an entrance that looks like it might go to, I don't know, a basement anywhere?
Give me your wits and awareness.
And I know this is two things at once, but I guess I just want to generally look and also see if it looks like there's any more people who don't look like they're with the SWAT team that might be armed or looking for us.
Okay. No, that's still the same wits and awareness.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Wits and awareness. Yeah, I'm good at those things. That's good. Not good at rolling them. So if I rouse and fail, I just gain a hunger.
Yeah, your stats increase no matter what. You just get hungrier.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
So I get to roll two according to the chart.
Yeah. Well, did your rouse pass or fail?
Oh, let me do that.
Okay. Again, with the rouse checks, the thing always happens. It's just you might get hungry as well.
I got a success.
Okay.
So
Yep.
Is
So
that good or bad in this case?
That is good. Your hunger does not increase. The attribute increases like you wanted, but your hunger does not.
Okay. Cool. Then well, that's still only 4.
As you are looking, you see that there is a map of the building, and you see there is a door behind the concierge desk that you think would probably be one of the ways you could access the basement. Again, this is a multi-million-dollar building, so it is not like, just the janky, like, here's the door to the basement, you think it's through there.
I'm gonna go. Is it past where Dimitri is killing dudes, or is it?
Dimitri is killing people in the stairwell. You would have to exit the stairwell and go out into the lobby.
Yeah. I guess I'll just kind of keep a lookout and go check the lobby really quick. I want to map it out, make sure that wherever we decide to go, that it's gonna be clear.
All right, Esther, you definitely see him sort of like scooching past you, kind of like cautiously looking around
I'm
in the lobby.
Gonna sort of giggle to myself, and we can just go out the front door now. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Meanwhile, upstairs, Abaddon and Cherry, you all are standing there with her mother and Artemis at the top, who does not know where you're going, is just sort of like grudgingly following along, and have just seen Hugo grab Cherry and Ezekiel and hop over the side.
Grab Apple and Ezekiel. I'm still here. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Grab Apple and
yeah,
Ezekiel.
just making sure. I know. I made it confusing for everyone.
Too many fruit babies.
By naming her Apple.
No, it could be worse. On Long Beach by Night, I have a player named Alquin, and another player chose a character named Alquis because F me, I guess. Yeah, so believe me, I have suffered worse. Yeah.
Yeah. How far down are we down these stairs? And again, who is near me? Who's left?
Up there is Cherry's mom, Artemis, and you.
The others Apple, on my back right now.
I just said it again. Yes. No, Apple is on your back. You have jumped. Like Hugo is. We will resolve momentarily what Starship Hugo does.
Starship Hugo.
When I see Hugo go over the side, I'm gonna look at Cherry and I'm gonna be like, "Can you jump or float or do anything like that over the?"
Cherry thinks about it for a minute. No. I can walk down the stairs, but that's about it. I mean, no one offered to let me ride them down the stairs, so it's...
Well, hey, baby, hey. And I will give her a nice big shadow hug. Not to hurt her, but I will grab her and I will grab her mom and Artemis in the other hands, and I'll be like, was there one more still?
No, that should be everyone.
Okay, and I'm gonna soaring leap over the side as well.
Cherry, she very much pulls you in close, and then yeet. Same thing. Give me your dex and athletics. Remove 3 dice because you're carrying 3 people, but add your potence. So I don't know what the total of that is. So Dex, Athletics, potence -3.
I'm gonna need to eat somebody soon.
I mean, you're in a target-rich environment. Speaking of needing to eat somebody, Hugo, give me your Dex and Athletics as well.
Oh, this is gonna be terrible.
Can't wait.
Welcome to my dumpster fire.
No negative repercussions. 3. Okay.
Dex
You will be
30.
able to land effectively, but by no means gracefully, Abaddon. But I mean, very much in the. But
I stand up and I go, I meant to do that.
but we have to see where Hugo has jumped ahead of you. So let's see what happens with that before
You got 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. As you are plummeting downward
Ezekiel.
with Ezekiel underneath you as you are falling, and you see the SWAT people, and Apple is holding onto your back. You actually hear her laughing on the way down as you are falling through the elevator shaft. And right before you are going to hit the ground, Ezekiel vanishes. And you hit the ground.
No, that's not fair. I had a
Yep.
thing I was gonna say to him.
You hit the ground and take 4 superficial damage that breaks both of your legs.
Oh, that's nothing.
But
I was gonna say.
I was gonna
Apple-
ask him
landings?
what happens when something blocks the sun.
maybe you'll get a chance to ask him later.
And he's gonna say shadow, and it's like that was shady enough.
Wow.
Then
But
you're
you
gonna buy
stole that moment from me.
it's where it is. This is a storytelling game of personal horror. Yes.
I felt like me being knee deep in Ezekiel was personal horror enough.
You land with like a hard thud, and Apple lands on your back. Her
I will take
Bell is-
anything I can take for damage. I will take it.
bell is rung a little, but I mean she survives very much. Esther and Eli, you very much witnessed this. Eli, you see him disappear. You do too, Esther. He's there, and you're falling, and then he's just gone. And Hugo hits the
That's
ground.
a neat trick.
With
Man. These floors here are a lot harder.
You okay?
I don't breathe. Never mind.
Was that some Nosferatu shit? Where the fuck did he just go?
and then boom, Abaddon lands as well. Sort of right over Hugo, like just sort of like, you know, leg spread type, like bang.
Just gotta do the thing. Gotta do the thing.
I curl my twisted yellow fingernails. I curl them into my own wrist, even cutting my own wrist with my fingernails, and I just terrorist fist bump Abaddon.
Nux. Yeah.
I'm saying that ironically, by the way.
Yes, for our NSA overlords. We mean
Yeah.
in a purely fictitious manner. Yeah.
No, for our NSA overlords, I'm not saying it ironically.
I'm like, and it's like the internet goes out. Awesome. Yeah,
Well, good
awesome.
run, guys.
Ah, it's a good
Dimitri.
live stream, everybody.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So we're done playing forever.
This guy
thanks for
apparently liked Obama.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
shut it down.
Thanks for tuning in to every stream we ever did, because this was the last one.
Rest in peace.
So Dimitri, as you were going through, one of them finally having witnessed this, like both Abaddon and Hugo, and I legit have been rolling for them. They've been rolling so terribly that they're just like the baby ducks on the lake. They just keep dropping, you know. None of them notice.
I would just, before you resolve this, I want you to know that I rolled a bestial success for a total of 4 successes on my brawl and whatever it was, strength. So
Again,
take it away.
Again. To the last man. To the last man.
Good lord.
He got
Wait,
one.
are your dice cursed?
You know, it just depends. I mean, you know, the fate wanted Dimitri to have this moment. You know, let the wolf earn his reputation. I will say, Dimitri, having just disassembled these guys with quiet lethality all the way up, like leaving a breadcrumb trail of carnage, the last dude whips around and looks right at you. What do you do to him?
I grab him by right by his vest, pick him completely bodily off the ground, and SWAT dudes are not small, and I'm going to bite into his neck, feeding a little bit, but in the process, ripping throat and ripping across here, so a rain of blood just shatters across everybody that's in the stairwell right now.
And you land like boom, Avedon, standing over Hugo, Nux, blood.
Well, this won't be nearly as inconspicuous now.
Yeah.
Shall we?
I have a small ask. Ezekiel, so how did he disappear?
How did he disappear?
Did he turn to mist? Like, describe to me
Was
how
it just
Ezekiel
He
faded
literally
away.
vanished. He was there and then he wasn't.
And then he wasn't?
Mhm.
Was
No-
it
no
gradual?
fla-
Was
no
it
flash-
instantaneous?
No flash of light, no mist. Like he was in your hand and then he just wasn't there.
I want to think, for me, as Todd and Hugo, that I broke off my index nail into his neck before he disappeared, just so he remembers me. He has a yellow, gross, nasty, curly nail stuck in his neck.
Infected.
I feel like he is not going to forget any of you. And believe it or not, that is probably a great place to take a little break. We can do a break. So we'll
You like
come-
breaks with body horror?
Literally, we're talking about
Giving
breaks. Speaking of breaks, let's have one.
Oh.
Like your legs, Hugo. So we will come back. Well, I'll give you
We're
like a
gonna
little
make
bit
like Hugo's legs and break.
Damn.
I
I love it. We'll give a slightly deluxe break, so we'll come back at 40 minutes
Cool.
after. So 40
Whoa.
after. We're all in different places, so I'm not going to attempt to do that math, but we'll come back then.
Okay.
All right? We'll see you in a minute.
Thank you.
Oh wait, hang on. Before have we
Yes.
come back yet? Hey, internet. I was just asking, do we have a sub goal or anything, Diana? Because we
We
didn't mention
do.
that. I mean, obviously we'd like all the
All of them.
subs, but I don't know if we've expressed a
We
sub
haven't
goal.
talked about our goal yet tonight. So as usual, we're aiming for 50 subs. If we do that, we'll do a giveaway for some Vampire the Masquerade dice over in chat. There will be 3 winners for that. So last week we kind of broke the system and we ended up pulling 7 winners because we got so many subs in one session. But we're aiming for 50, a nice modest goal. But yeah.
So here's the thing, people of the interwebs. We're all friends. And if you're here and you've watched this far and you sat through the break and you've watched all these episodes and you love these magnificently beautiful people, because we have arranged an anomalously beautiful cast here, and you have yet to sub, maybe do, because you will increase the likelihood that you will be blessed by more Level Up Dice. And I, having been blessed by Level Up Dice, I can tell you conclusively, the only thing better than Level Up Dice is getting more
Doesn't
Level Up
suck.
Dice. So, yeah, toss.
I'd like to chime in. If you don't sub right now, I'll kill Hugo. Yeah, I'll kill him
won't.
right now.
He won't. If we hit 50
That's on
subs,
you.
Hugo is safe.
No, that's on you.
That's true.
We need
so
Please
it's an
stop.
extortion racket now. It's
excuse
kidnapping.
me. Ruthlessness is supposed to be the La Sombra
I'll pull his
bait.
teeth out. I'll pull his teeth out first. By the way, it will not be a slow death. So,
So 50
Level Up Dice
subs.
needs some
Personal
subs.
horror indeed.
50
Save
subs.
Hugo.
So Hugo can survive is apparently where we are now. And now I can do nothing no darker than that, but you all find yourself at the bottom of this elevator shaft. Again, freshly sprayed with blood is Dimitri comes back down.
Save Hugo.
Hashtag save Hugo for the low price of
Sure.
50
Wow.
subs, apparently. You know, also, I think we're gonna know something important, Todd, if we get to the end and then there was like 6 subs.
Yeah,
They're like,
I
"I
need
will
to
see
scale
you
my
in
shit
hell."
back a little bit. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
sub.
No, guys,
I
stop that.
It's
We're
happening.
proving a point here.
It's true. It's true. So maybe we're terrible. Again, a storytelling game of personal horror.
No.
So save the best NOS. Also, maybe win some dice.
All marketing has a dark side, and I am that dark side.
Can verify. I appreciate everyone that works for the company is deeply dismayed, and the two of us are like, yeah,
I
all
don't
right.
know how I feel right now.
Again, mission accomplished for Vampire the Masquerade. Like, it was necessary, but I'm not sure. I feel like I lost something. Yeah, we're right on par for the game. So,
Also, Hugo's saving Apple right now, so
Yeah. If
Okay.
Hugo dies, Apple dies, and think about how
Double.
Cherry will feel about that.
you don't want to kill a 14-year-old character named Apple, do you?
Should we go?
so you all know my beloved game Battlelords. There was an ad campaign that they did in the 90s. It was called the Baby Seal ad campaign, because this was right when like don't kill baby seals for fur coats was like really in vogue. And it was a picture of this like
It's a real thing
adorable
we had to
little
worry
baby
about,
seal.
by the way. But
Oh yeah,
back
no,
then,
that happened, kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know, that was a whole thing.
That happened in like life. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a thing.
Please don't kill baby seals.
For fur coats, yeah. And it was this adorable little baby seal, and behind it is all these space mercenaries with like guns and sticks, and it was like, "Buy Battlelords or we'll club this baby
I'll
seal."
go ahead and change up the overlay for next week just so that we have some better visuals.
I've hope that was an odd follow up to the baby seal.
No, I
comment.
feel like we
I'm
should
"No, we don't
incorporate
want
that
visuals of that."
into what we're doing here.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll all get in front of green
Let's
screens.
get some
of
fan art
clothes.
of
Save Hugo. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Save Hugo.
Some Sarah
Sub to the
McLachlan
channel, or
music
we will
playing.
club.
Just
And it's
Looking
like
the wrong way at the
uncomfortably
camera.
long. Uncomfortably long. It's like 3.5 minutes. Of,
3 hours. We'll just skip the episode and play nothing but that.
That's it. It's done. All right. So, down there, Eli, you have discovered that you believe there is basement access via the concierge desk. Esther has created a wonderful distraction as there is a just full-blown riot taking place outside now. Again, the police, still being mortals, are equally effective. Just a brawl of dozens and dozens of people is taking place outside right now.
I would like to
Cherry,
think
yes.
I was midway through. All right, well, if you've like seeing that she's caused this, like I was midway through, like okay, let's go out the front door when the blood finally just like just stopping mid sentence.
Or maybe don't. Yep. Cherry, you and your mother were rescued by Avedon, who jumped down quite effectively, managing not to squish your sister in the process. So they're using a combination of strength and agility that came at the cost of a little bit of grace, but you got it done, Avedon. Getting everyone down to the bottom. Dimitri feeling very satisfied. And for anyone who watched, was ruthlessly efficient in his dispatching of these, highly trained agents coming into the place. And Hugo is struggling to pick himself up off the ground, and Apple is also like trying to help you up. Like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Are you okay? Are you good?
Oh,
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, no, but, that's a big question. As I slowly, pop my kneecaps back into place. I mean, sometimes I get lonely
Hugo, I can't help
in the
but notice
darkness.
there was an agent beneath you, but he is now no longer. Where
Yeah, where did the
go?
agent go?
Yeah, he didn't even do anything. He just disappeared. Like he was never there.
Can your eyes do? Can he? Is he here somewhere?
Oh, I don't feel anything, do I? Hugo,
I mean,
do you feel something underneath you right now?
Nope, you hit pure concrete. Yeah, no, you felt his body in your hands, and then it was not there. It was there, and then it just wasn't.
I was holding him like a memory, and then he wasn't there anymore.
Right. Well, Jedi aren't real too, right? Like, where the fuck
What?
did he go?
I don't know.
Avedon, you got the black eyes thing. Can you see him with? Is he like a ghost?
I'll check. The way the eyes work, it's we see essentially the oblivion plane. So sometimes it's ghosts. It might, maybe. I'll try.
Maybe
But
he's a ghost.
but before I do that, and I reach down and grab Artemis by the front of her shirt and pull her close to me, and I go, "What did he do, Artemis? Where did he go?"
You see her bare her new fangs at you, but then it's something in her clicks, and she's looking at you. She's like, I don't know how you made me feel allegiance to you. And she puts her hand on yours, and you actually feel, Artemis, her grip strength beginning to increase, having inherited your strength, but it relaxes for a second. And she's like, what happened? I didn't see it.
Hugo, you said he was just vanished from out from below you?
Yeah, it's I'm not gonna lie, but I this whole thing I was gonna say, and then he disappeared before I could say it, and that kind of bummed me out.
This is something really cool.
It was gonna be really, really, really cold.
She
I mean,
looks
cool. Chill.
There, yeah, in there.
when she looks at you for a second, you see the oblivion fill in all through her eyes again, over the ruin of her eyes. And she looks around. Avedon, it's quite clear to you, understanding this, she's figuring out how to turn it on and off. And so it turns and looks right at you, and she says, We all have different gifts that allow us to do different things. Being uniquely difficult to kill was his. Being uniquely good at killing was mine.
I can see I made the right choice then. But how does him being hard to kill make him vanish?
Apparently that was necessary for him to live. No, you don't understand. It is incredibly difficult to kill him. Remember he was going to jump out of a 30-foot window fearlessly?
I mean, we weren't really trying before, per se. We just...
You, and she points at you, Esther. She's like, you were faster than he expected.
I mean, yes. It's sort of my thing.
It was impressive. That's why he didn't have a chance to do something, or you never would have landed the blow you did on him.
Agree to disagree.
Just... You got him, so I suppose I can't say anything about that. But I didn't think it was possible. She looks down at her hand very much like, I didn't think it was possible for you to even do this to us.
Should we go, though? You know, they won't fight forever out there. And I would prefer not to be in here when the next round of SWAT people come in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna start walking, I guess.
Avedon, you were about to say something?
I say I think that's a good move. And then before we walk off, I get close to Artemis again, and I go, I'll explain more to you about that later.
She grabs your arm, and you feel that exact thing again, where she grabbed, like it's going to be forceful and then isn't, like, and she just says, I will make a deal. If you are honest with me, I will be honest with you.
I think that's fair. Also, I want you to know that besides just making the score settled, you fight very well. And that was another reason why I chose to, make you one of us.
Sorry, go ahead.
You stood out to me, and I feel as though you will do well to be a soldier of the Dark Father.
You, Avedon, see a complex series of emotions flash across her face, almost in an instant, of horror at what she's become, pride at the compliment, and the power of the blood of La Sombra flowing through her veins. And the tiniest smile comes up on her face, and she says, the Lord moves in mysterious ways, right?
Precisely. You're learning quick. And I kiss her on the forehead. And then I continue to move with the rest of the group.
And she comes out. So again, in the lobby, all of you now clearly see this brawl taking place. And it is true, Esther. It is already starting to slow down a little bit, simply because, quite frankly, they're getting exhausted. Most people can't fight for long. The adrenaline dump kicks in. So lots of people are like laid out and rolling around and trying to get to their feet. You see like some tear gas has gone off out there, but it is a chaotic scene that is definitely like in its final act.
I'm with Esther on this one.
Where is it that you all want to go?
Well, firstly, covertly to the other side of the police line that's been set up.
So you do intend to go out the front door into the brawl?
Yeah, they aren't looking at us. Maybe stay close to the building, though, so that we aren't actively jumping into a fight.
Yeah, they're aggro range. We don't we don't want to pull them.
Exactly. Now you're speaking my language over there. I'm like, which one of you's tanking? Right.
We're down there in that alley. Is there another way around it? Like, do we see like a tunnel to go through, or is there a way into the basement if we wanted to do that, or is our only option to go through the front?
No. So to be clear, again, you all are standing in the main lobby of this palatial building. Outside, basically on 79th Street, is a police barricade of 911 responders and onlookers that Esther essentially incited to violence. So the front door is where the chaos is erupting. Eli has found a way into the basement. Again, there are back entrances. There's other staircases. There's, you sort of have the run of the building. As far as you can tell, there are no more agents in here, at least not that have been revealed so far. So you definitely have options. It's just the one that is in front of you is the direct approach. But yes, you can make your way to the basement. You can make your way back to the parking garage. You can make your way back out to that alley. Again, Cherry lives here. You could, any way they want to go, you know how to get there.
Yes, so we have options right now, guys, but I'm not so sure how I feel about this whole going to the basement plan. Not loving it, to be honest.
Oops.
You don't think that Gigolo will be upset if we just don't show?
If I may, I feel as though, well, I feel Hugo might be able to take care of this on his own when it comes to them. The Nos don't really like to hurt their own kind, but take or leave any of us, really. But they're a sort of clan over sect kind of people. Hugo will be safe no matter what. Doesn't mean we will.
I'm gonna head to the basement.
I guess with everything I know, it would make it very difficult for them if they were to upset me. If I was to talk, they will protect you, or I will not protect them.
I look at Avedon to see how she reacts to that.
There's a lot of thinking about, but I'll trust you. And just everyone be on guard. It does feel a little odd, but
Oh, I don't like him. He's gross.
I'm gonna move over to the basement. That sounds like we're in agreement.
I reluctantly head with them toward the basement, but
Have I joined the group yet?
Oh yeah, I mean you were all there after you came down. Yes, you're all very much together.
Have I popped in all my body parts?
Yes, I would say you've healed as much superficial as your blood potency will allow, so you can move. You definitely look and feel beat to hell though. Some stuff is like not lined up quite right, but you're mobile. Yes,
That's fine. That's how I feel.
I do kind of walk up behind Cherry as we're walking, and I look at her and I kind of wink at her, like, remember the plan, and I just kind of stay close to her so that, like, in case we have to do some, like, Batman and Robin, like, link arms and do the, like, space kick fighting, like, we got that.
We could also just split up. We have Gigolo take some to one group, and one group go speak with the Memphis person, Napalm.
Well, did you have fun? Was that a fun ride?
she is standing there just wide-eyed watching all the people outside fighting, and she's like, yeah, this is like the craziest night of my life. Cherry, is this what it's like for you all the time?
It is not as fun as you think it is. I don't know how to get that across to you. And I frankly don't want you to get to the point where you understand it.
I mean, it's this or the fucking Hamptons. Come on, Cherry. Come on, Cherry.
There's nothing that you can say that will make me change my mind about this.
Cherry, are you happy?
No.
Why?
Are any of us?
Why are you not happy?
Because people who used to look at you and think you're amazing will suddenly look at you and think you're a monster.
Yeah. I remember I had a wife. I had children. But I look like this. And I am this. You don't. And whoever you make will not look like that either. My own wife looked at me and saw a monster. My own children. And you just look like you. It's not my business. But being with your family forever, that would have been a nice option for me. But I don't have that. And I look like this now.
The things we have to do to survive. That's not a life I want for her.
Apple looks at you, Cherry, and she says, "You came back for us, and they knew you cared or they wouldn't have used me as bait. But you have not made a good decision in your entire life, Hugo." And she looks down at your broken legs and cracked body, and she just like, I don't know if you know what the Hamptons is. To me, it's a fucking prison. I know it doesn't seem that way to other people, but if you tell me, Hugo, if you tell me to go with my mom and get in the car that she calls and go back to some fucking gilded cage, I will do it because I owe you. And Cherry, I will listen to him because you came for us. But what is it, Viking man? Run or fight?
Do you like your sister?
No. But she looks at you, she's like, I love her though.
What?
I said, no, I don't like her, but I love her.
Do you want her to live?
Yeah, apparently she can't fucking die, Hugo. She got shot and was still bouncing around topless like it was nothing.
Yeah, but you are.
You just fell 17 flights of stairs and...
You are the weakest part of her. Because she loves you. And you're weak. And I am tired. You can't make her do anything that she doesn't feel is right. But, I mean, we're all in prison. And none of us are getting out. But I'd rather be in prison with my own family. Instead of them being a memory. I have these tattoos. Sometimes I remember what they mean, and sometimes I don't know. This is between you and your sister. I have nothing to do with this.
You all are moving during this, heading towards the basement, watching this exchange. And Artemis leans over to you, Avedon. And she just says, Is this what it's always like for your kind? Our kind?
Um, what in particular are you referring to?
Murder, insanity, angst.
It's not the goal. No. Um, so we have different sects and different beliefs as well. My companions here are what you call anarchs. They like to shoot a lot. Yes, that is a thing. I myself belong to the Camarilla, little more political. Some say underhanded, but tomato, tomato. We do things with words, mostly. Mostly.
I have a lot of objections to things that you just said, but also as I'm standing in the doorway to the base,
Mm-hmm.
were we gonna get out of here?
Artemis just looks at you, Avedon, and she says, I will go where you go, but if this is a trap, her silver blade just like leaps into her hand. It's like, we'll carve our way out of it.
Yes. That's fine. And she looks over and she goes, I want you to know that I only say that because I have to explain something that you should know, and that's that I did not ask permission to make you.
Is that a problem?
For me, yes. For them, not so much. So when we do get back to wherever we are going, we're going to have to deal with something that may get more murdery before it gets more talky.
Eli, Dimitri, Hugo, you're all aware of what she's talking about. Cherry, you're fairly young. Roughly how old is Esther?
Esther is she was embraced in the 70s, so like
Esther's definitely been around long enough. The only one who doesn't understand what she's talking about is you, Cherry. Specifically, those of you, whether or not you've been part of the cam, some things you just are the baseline of what you're taught. And yes, you are supposed to have permission to create a child because everything the child does is a reflection of you, just like you are a reflection of your sire. The potential punishments of that vary based on who's in power at the time. But it is one of the fundamental traditions. Avedon has broken a significant rule.
Avedon.
Yes, Hugo.
Your eyes look like how I feel.
Same.
You're
But
in
we'll.
trouble. Why are you in trouble? You're in trouble?
Maybe.
For this thing?
Yes, I did not ask permission to create them, and
Do you need to keep them alive?
I would feel wrong if I didn't.
You would feel wrong.
Something in them. I see it.
I don't understand. What is wrong?
Well, the vicar finds out. Sometimes punishment is up to, including being put to death, and I will have to tell the vicar.
Right, but you knew that going into this, so I assume you've weighed that out for yourself, yeah?
Oh, yes, indeed. I have.
Well, this is a fantastic conversation to have, maybe in a safer place.
I agree. Speaking of the vicar, we have made no progress towards what he asked us to do.
Yes, and again, I only bring it up now because I feel like whatever we get done here will probably be immediately headed back to him. So I just want you all to be prepared for how that might happen.
We had no dealings with what you did.
No, you did not.
We will leave it at that for now.
Wow, you're a little naughtier than I thought you were.
Maybe so.
Anyway,
I have a question. Cherry.
yes, Hugo.
And I look for like a flask or something messed up on me.
I would say most of your personal effects have lasted centuries, so they were dinged and beaten, but it's still intact. You got like an old tin flask type thing
Yeah,
that
who
might have.
doesn't like a rusty tin whiskey infused flask?
Yeah, no, that's blindness in a bottle. Yeah, for anybody that is not a pro use of the plot of the practical effects there.
Prepared.
Cherry, this is a deeper thing. This is not with evil or manipulation. I ask this. But you are wounded. Would you put your blood in the flask? It's not clean as it should be.
What? Why?
Sometimes I can see things in the past, and sometimes I can see things in the future. And I think this is important.
I mean, that stuff's valuable. If you got another flask, we might as well load up, right?
What, you want me to just like bleed
Yeah,
into this
I'm
flask?
just adding on to
I'm just
the
making
idea
sure I
that Hugo's
understand.
thrown out there. There's no
Yeah,
kicking.
no. Please, if you got blood to spare, put it in the flask.
I'm gonna give Eli a hard look when he chimes in on that.
Sure. You've helped me out a lot tonight, Hugo. I find it really hard to say no to you. So,
Sherry, you are more than capable of willing your vitae to come out into the surface and out into this vessel if you so choose.
okay.
Every point of blood that you put into the flask, your hunger will increase by 1. You physically have
Great.
lost it. So
Okay.
it is up to you how much you turn over.
Well, how do I know? Is it my? Well, if I've got 2 hunger right now.
So okay, so let me tell you how it goes.
Thank
Oh
you.
shit.
The max you can get to is 5, because if anything happens that would have driven you to 6, you automatically frenzy.
Okay.
As your hunger increases, the beast comes more and more to the surface, which practically you just start acting or meaner and nastier. Mechanically, you roll more blood dice, which makes, unintended effects
Right.
more likely.
Okay. Screw it. I like living on the edge. I'll do 2 points worth of blood into it.
You open up the robe, revealing an interesting dichotomy there of what would have been perfectly sculpted human with a grievous injury right in the middle of her midsection. Again, you had healed it slightly. Any normal human would have been very dead from this injury. And sure enough, you hold the flask up, Hugo, and some of the vitae very clearly and slowly starts coming out. All of you make a willpower roll. Roll your unspent willpower.
Even though I am not
'Cause
in
it's-
the room?
Well, I mean, you're all on the way to the basement.
Oh, I thought they were just still
So,
standing
yeah.
in the lobby.
Oh no,
Okay.
this is all
No.
en route to the basement.
It's like that old timey.
Oh,
Let's all
no.
go to
Also
the
make the
basement.
So you
Let's
said
all
zero.
go to the basement.
Do I also make the roll?
No, it's your vitae. It's just
Great.
the smell of
These
blood
last-
just
I
smells
see what's
really
happening
great.
here. I
Yeah.
see what's happening here.
These last few,
Targeted right
so
now.
good at being a vampire.
These last
Two
few
successes
all
and a
been
critical
big night.
success.
so I have not had a chance to replenish my willpower. And
Yeah, I haven't either.
had one left.
Yeah,
So we just
no.
roll. So if I have 2 left, I only
You
roll
have 2 left. You roll 2 dice.
and one of them has to be. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. 0.
I just feel a little called out right now.
You're like,
got
just
2
at me next time.
successes.
2. How many for Dimitri?
0 successes and a critical failure on a blood dice.
So you're lucky here because willpower is the one roll you do not roll blood dice. So it actually isn't possible to critically
Damn it.
fail willpower. But you also cannot spend any more. Both Dimitri, and how many was it for you, Hugo?
3 successes.
Hugo, you're fine. You smell it again. It smells magnificent, but you can control it. Esther, how many was
I
that for
rolled
you?
1 die and got 1 success.
Esther, you need to eat. You're like,
hungry.
okay, all right, no, you're hungry now. You're like, wait a minute, like, hang on. Wherever we're going, can it involve food? Eli, how many was that for you?
I got 2. I only had 2 left, so I.
Same thing. You're able to control it a little bit more, but you're like, no, it's time to eat. Like it is. Avedon and Dimitri. Is the smell of this vitae fills your nostrils. Dimitri, just scenes from the past start to play in your mind of things you've done on many battlefields all over the world. And you see his eyes start to become sort of red and bloodshot at the scent of this. And like he very much sort of like kind of hunches over a little bit. And Avedon, you too realize just how much this has cost you over the course of the night and what lay ahead of you when you are going to have to face the vicar. You're like, whatever else happens, like you have to feed now. Carrie, you were sort of willing this to happen, and he's filling up the flask, and you're like, this is weird. I've never done this, but okay, cool. And the two of them are both like, and you very much see it.
Yeah, I slash open my arm.
What is your?
Maybe it's time to feed then. Feed on me.
Neither of you are removed from your ability or requirement to eat what you eat. So the idea that Hugo is offering isn't necessarily what all of you want, but at least one of you is looking pretty good.
And it's a deep cut.
Yeah, but I did. Yeah, but I also didn't. I didn't fail, and I want to wait a little bit, longer.
You basically needed 3 to be unaffected. You got 2.
Okay.
You were in control of your fact. The 2 of them are animals right now. Like they were like, no. Food. You are hangry, but you are composed, Eli.
I really,
Come to where the flavor is. Come to Nosferatu country.
really appreciate the offer there, Hugo. As I can tell they're breaking down.
I got all
too,
this
right?
blood just
Oh,
spilling on
yeah.
the floor uselessly.
Yeah, no, Dimitri and Avedon are both not even trying to hide it because they're not capable of hiding it.
But I can tell they're also not into what Hugo has to offer either.
I mean, neither of them tackled him, so
I'm starting to
Avedon-
feel a little hurt.
what's that, Avedon?
Okay.
Sorry.
Feeling a little hurt.
You don't have another flask, do
Just
you, Hugo?
letting you know.
Wait, what's this, Avedon? Sorry.
Avedon's gonna walk over to Cherry's mom They don't seem to like have like a great relationship. She's not gonna kill her, but she's definitely gonna be like, let me tell you a secret real quick. And she's just gonna kind of like give her a little kiss on the neck, give her a little hickey.
And do you feed?
I do, but I'm only gonna take one dot because I don't want to be.
The beast has other plans. You're in the grips of a hunger frenzy, ma'am. Roll your unspent willpower
Bye,
again.
Cherry's mom.
Again,
Again, I know what
listen,
you think
I'm
is
not saying that
important.
I'm hurt, but I'm hurt.
Yeah, I know what you think, and the irony is, she's not the one that was supposed to feed on Karens in this campaign, and we were like, we just won't even do that, and now here we are.
Yeah, that was my whole deal.
Yeah.
Again, Avedon, there's what you have planned, and then there's what the beast has planned. So how many successes was that?
I had one willpower. I rolled one die. I got no successes.
You sink your fangs in, and her eyes roll back in her head because being fed on is pleasurable to mortals. After the initial like, oh dear, ooh, she just sort of goes with it. I will give all of you a single wits in awareness. Not you, Dimitri, because you do not care. The rest, everyone else, can have one wits in awareness to realize that she absolutely will drain this woman dry.
Mm-hmm.
He's very like,
I got 3.
3, 2.
How I roll that many? I got 3.
3,
2 successes.
2. Eli and Hugo, you're like, IDK, because she seems pretty tough, but I don't know, dude. Like, she's not slowing down.
Is there anything like the help action?
In Vampire.
What is it that you intend to accomplish?
Okay, so she's feeding on Cherry's mom.
Yes.
I get very close, respectfully to Abaddon.
I don't know your story.
Abaddon, I think you need to slow up a bit.
And
Avedon is wild-eyed and woolly with her face buried in this woman's neck. I think it would be safe to assume that unless one of you tackle
I'm going to tackle her.
she's gonna keep going.
Okay.
I'm going to
I just
With that
condense her.
frenzy, though.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
frenzy,
That Hugo's like, hey, Avedon, let me ask you something. You know, like,
Yeah, I'm gonna celerity my way over and try and like bodily just pull her off.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my potence and just
I'm about to if I need to.
gonna
well,
pull her up
actually,
like a.
My potence
Video
is
game
still
clock.
active, right?
when Esther and Cherry see the two of them being like, hey, cool. You know, what do the two of you do?
Well, I would like to quickly, because that's something I'm good at, just try and kind of like whoop and push them apart.
Again, to stop Avedon from feeding on the mom.
Cherry's mom gives her a really hard time. I'm sort of into giving Cherry a hard time, so she and I sympathize. Like, I don't want her dead yet.
What does Cherry do?
I'm gonna say Cherry stands kind of transfixed at when she sees this, what's going on, but does not move to stop her.
You notice Apple doesn't move either. Apple doesn't make a peep. Is you all sort of spring into action. Avedon, give me one strength and brawl. As they all are sort of like trying to be like, no, stop, don't. And on the inside, you're sort of like, or do. You know?
No,
You're like, hear me out. She's terrible anyway.
Now at this point, because I've been drinking from her, am I still at 4 hunger, or can I drop a hunger die or 2 out of that?
Oh no, your hunger's definitely coming down. I would say you can take 3 without killing her. So I will say you've taken 3, and this will be the last. This is if they don't intervene, this will be the last drop that you're about to take from her.
Which also
Or-
makes sense because that would mathematically even bring me to hunger 0. So strength and brawl. Am I grappling right now?
Even though I will say, even though your willpower is still down, your hunger is decreasing too. Like off in the distance, you're aware of the fact that they're trying to stop you from killing this woman. The question is, do you want to stop, not kill her?
Yes. So I will not include my special feat.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to fight against my beast. I know the beast fights as hard as it can. I wasn't sure.
Right. Well,
I was allowed to be like, bitch, don't.
Well, different, under different circumstances, the beast wants what it wants. But it is true. You got a pretty good sip.
That's 7 with a critical.
So they're like, please stop, and somewhere inside you're like, I could, but maybe I don't wanna. She's terrible anyway. As you're feeding, Hugo is pulling on you, Esther's pulling on you, Eli is pulling on you, but they can only generate so much power, because if they just push this woman, they'll just like crush her in your arms, and you're sort of like, well, bye. As you sort of open your mouth to sort of like deliver the final blow, you feel Artemis drives her arm into your mouth, where you bite into her, and she sort of like pulls you for a second, and she just says in your ear, she doesn't deserve a warrior's death. Which would give you, huh? I mean, yeah. Yeah.
I'm out of the grips.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She
right.
very much like slumps to the ground, just sort of, because until you lick it closed, I mean, she's got two holes in her neck and lost a lot of blood. Dimitri.
Note. I was gonna stab her with the juice we picked up earlier, so I'm just kind of covertly trying to slip that back.
You're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Dimitri.
Yes.
Dimitri. Again, there are these two people here. There's Cherry's mother and her sister, which may or may not matter to you. There's a whole bunch of people outside, and the mission is ahead. But you have to feed, Dimitri. You need to eat.
Just want to paint the scene. Everybody is focusing on Abaddon and Cherry's mom. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And
I will snap you.
Hey, you're otherwise occupied, bro. If you're trying to save Demetria right now.
So I have an important question. We know that
I just appreciate that Dimitri's like, hang on, let me just ask you one question.
Cherry's mom was going for pills, yeah? So it's reasonable to expect that she might have something in her system.
Uh-huh.
Oh, she definitely does.
Yeah. No, she had some stuff.
Apple?
I mean, you know what you know about Cherry. She seems like a little bit of a train wreck, and this young one does too. You haven't seen her take anything, but
Is that something I can smell on blood?
Do you have the Bloodhound merit? You can give me wits and awareness, but it would be tough. There are some specific powers that enable it, but if you do not possess them, it just is what it is.
Well, Cherry, I'm just glad we could help save your family for lunch.
That's 2 successes.
You're not sure. Yeah, you're not sure. She seemed pretty mellow in the midst of all of this insanity, but otherwise, you just don't know.
I got a taster.
Well, same thing. Give me your willpower to see if you are capable of taking just a little, or not.
I have 1 success.
You could probably stop after 2.
Now, if it tastes, I'm real. The drugs, they are big. I will not feed on the drug-infested body. So if I taste that, I gotta like.
I mean, this is adult content, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna say the kids on stuff.
All right, Beast is
I would say
there. Sink my fang things in, and immediately, Christ,
she's like, oh.
this garbage human.
Again, being fed on is pleasurable, so she's more surprised than anything. Ooh.
And at this stage, ruling, how far into the basement are we?
You're probably one more flight of stairs to go down. Yeah, I would say you're equal distance between outside, where there's all kinds of people, but a lot of witnesses, and in about one more level down to theoretically the way out.
But we don't see anybody else to feed on right now.
Not so far. Looks like the building was evacuated.
Except for me.
Hugo's like,
I
True.
got the goods.
What's the ruling on
No,
feeding on a vampire? Like, I don't know how that all works.
You can. The only
nothing bad happens.
I mean, he tastes like he looks. The only real risk of feeding on a fellow kindred is potentially becoming bloodbound. If you do feed on his blood and you do not have the unbondable merit or anything like that, you would have a one-step bond to Hugo, which usually the way I rule it, the game's very vague about what that means. I basically rule you're essentially like under a similar effect as awe. You're by no means a mindless slave, but you like very highly prize what Hugo thinks about things.
Well, given the choice between feeding on drug-infested bodies or running off into the night, I'm going to go with the most local thing. And even though Hugo is currently trying to inject himself in between these two, I'm just disgusting.
Hey,
Grab Hugo's arm and
He's the
I
battlefield. He's the battlefield
I want to address
ration.
an issue about my blood that's being discussed right now. Okay, I would like to think that I am the fast food of blood and that it's delicious at first, but yeah, you regret
Straight
it.
to your thighs.
No, you're 3-day-old Taco Bell. That's centuries-old Nos blood, buddy. That was steeped
I don't know.
in the-
You're
that
not
blood-
saying
that
anything
blood-
that's wrong to me right now.
That blood was steeped in the Hudson, sir.
did you see from
Man,
the
I
tape?
am the Hudson. I was the thing that was poisoning the Hudson.
Dimitri, you give me another willpower roll, although it will be much easier to resist draining Hugo because this is not necessarily what you would have liked given your choice.
Come to where the flavor is. Come to Hugo country.
Important clarification, Avedon. Do you lick her mother's neck to close the wound? Okay, all right.
Hey,
That is a thing that happens, by the way. I don't know if it's been stated outright, but with kindred that feeds, you can lick it, the wound that your fangs cause, and close it. 2,
Just like real life.
I mean, that's a thing that happens,
2
right?
successes, but I did not lick Apple. She got some.
No, you haven't yet. Apple very much still has 2 holes in her neck. Oh, no, believe me. Guess who kept track of that? You are able, when you bite in, you are able to control it. How much do you, 2 important questions. How much do you attempt to take from Hugo? In Hugo, do you let him do it? Because Dimitri
No, I
does
let him
bite
take
in.
whatever he needs to. I do feel like he's gonna have like early onset male pattern baldness. Though.
Bro, I'm already ugly. Man,
again-
you can't do much more.
Even, it's true, you might grow a nose back. You don't know. Yeah.
But around the mustache. Where it
Don't
hurts
even
you.
Put a
joke
nose in the
about
wrong
that, Todd. Don't even joke about it.
Just an extra nose. Oh, his mustache.
You're
is
just
bald.
bald here.
just that right
Oh,
here.
no.
Everything
Male
else is
pattern
fake.
lip baldness. That's the pattern right there. You're like, oh no.
I quit. No more vampire. I'm out.
No more vampire.
Got too
Freaking
dark.
curse of the neck
Too
beard.
personal
It
horror.
all just moves down to just right
you
here.
can only grow hair.
Too much personal horror. I'm out.
That's your Nosferatu curse. Stop her.
I only need to take 1 to hit 0. I think I was at 2. I fed off a SWAT dude, and I was at 1.
Oh, well, to hit 0, you have to kill the target. So if you only need 1, basically, like 1 would kind of snap you out of it.
Do 1.
Yeah, but by taking 1, your hunger does increase by 1, Hugo. And even for a kindred, being fed upon is still pleasurable. Now, had this gone a different way, there is a chance that you might have involuntarily tried to diablerize him, and then other things would have happened. But in this case, on Hugo, unless you try and stop him, you do feel his fangs sink into your flesh. You do feel him begin to feed on you. And unless you stop him, he does take 1 point.
I don't stop him, but I want to make sure that he feels like he's just sunk his fangs into a very old Tostino pizza pocket, and that's the general vibe he gets from that.
With Hudson River sauce. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Hudson River sauce with shrimp.
Shrimp with too many eyes, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just let him feed on me, and at the same time, I'm trying to cover up Apple this entire time.
Cherry, you being the only one that didn't really get caught up in all of this insanity.
Yeah, by the way, I'm like, whoa, what did I just witness? Because I'm already weirded out by the whole flask thing, and then this just happened.
Yeah, no, and then it all happens like very abruptly. That he's like flask, and they're like,
Yeah.
all of this. Yeah. Again, it's like
Chappelle
that old. If
popped
you've ever
off.
seen that footage of that old Russian talk show where the dude had the bear and the bear sitting next to the woman through the entire show, and then it just looks at her and is like, just bounces out of nowhere. It's that.
Yep.
It's that. Yeah. You notice, and this is
In
you're all
Russia.
making your way down into the basement. This
In Mother Russia talk show eat you.
Exactly.
You're not wrong.
You notice as all of this insanity is taking place, again, Cherry, Apple is stone-faced. I mean, she's just watching it like,
Do I see the marks on her neck?
oh yeah. Yeah. 2 holes, blood.
I run over to her like a protective mom and like poke them and like, who fed on her? Hey, who fed on her?
The rest of you kind of didn't notice. I mean, like, stuff was happening, to tell you the truth.
But I noticed, right?
You were busy fighting with Abaddon. Like, this all... You know what? I will
powers
let
of
you...
deduction.
I will give you wits and awareness, Hugo, because we've established that Apple was a priority for you. You were tied up. You couldn't intervene. It did happen, but we will see at least if you noticed it happen.
Okay, I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna pull some Todd Kenrick bullshit. Since someone's feeding off me right now of a particular person, I'm going to, and I expect their tongues out. I'm going to slowly draw my sharp, long fingernail across their tongue, spooling their saliva into it, and I'm going to attempt to take that and rub it on Apple's wound to try to heal it. And if you say no, that's fine. But I'll snap his frickin' neck.
Try.
No, I won't. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Vampire fight.
Historically, that's not a thing, but that is an unsettling enough image. I'm going to allow it.
Or I can pull his tongue out. I'm totally down for either.
It's
It's
true.
totally your option as game master.
Dimitri's no slouch here. He's terrible. Yes, you. I will say when you do this, it does seal the wound on her neck because reasons. I can say I've done this a lot. That's not a question I've ever been posed with. Yeah.
Welcome to
Honestly,
me.
to tell you the truth, even as I'm saying it out loud, I don't even know if it's written anywhere that only the kindred that inflicted the wound can lick it closed. I know you can you can do it, but I don't even know if you can lick close another kindred's wounds. I actually don't know. I'm gonna say, since it's freaking magic, no. But yes, it does. It does.
I just sprinkle.
Yeah,
I sprinkle his saliva.
it's true.
Onto the
Internet. I reserve the right to like look into this and say something different next time. But I'm gonna say, only you can lick close the wounds. And yes, Cherry.
I'm not raising my hand. I'm literally just like stunned at what I'm seeing happen.
Yeah. No, it is a thing. It's a thing. In both Abaddon and Dimitri, you know, it takes a moment for the beast to like pull its claws out of your brain. You know, that even the vitae sort of flowing through you to sort of be like, it's like waking up from a nightmare where you have those few moments of like,
how is Cherry's mom looking right now?
Oh, she's pretty bad. No, she was almost dead. Like, I mean, she's not unconscious, but I mean, she's spaghetti legs. Like, she needs a cookie and some juice for sure.
So I have the next best thing. I'm going to walk up to her and I'm going to bite into the tip of my finger because it doesn't take a whole hell of a lot. And I'm going to look at her and go, this is a one-time use thing. The more it gets in your system, the more it builds up and it'll kill you. Don't ever ask me for it again. And I swipe a little dot of blood across her tongue just to kind of give her enough pep to, walk.
Do you have any celerity?
I do not.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away. When you say this will just give you a little pep, this will only work once, or it will kill you.
Oh no.
Apple lunges on you and goes.
I smacked the shit out of Apple.
She takes it. Yeah. But she sort of looks around and she goes,
and I go, and I also look at Hugo because I know he was supposed to protect her. And I go, believe me, Hugo, that was for her own good that I just smacked that girl. She's going to get herself killed.
all of you have been kindred long enough that you're quite aware she was still alive. So having consumed the vitae would make her a ghoul, not a kindred. But you do know it would make her a ghoul.
So tell me, B-Dave, what are the rules on becoming a vampire in Vampire the Masquerade?
So honestly, to tell you the truth, to create a kindred, you essentially have to take them to death's door and then feed them their vitae. If I were a worse person, she would have turned her mom into a vampire, not a ghoul. But no, you guys stopped her in time. A living person that consumes vitae is a ghoul. So basically, one on death's door becomes kindred. One who's still alive becomes a ghoul. So she was going to ghoul her mother. She has now ghouled Apple. Yeah, but neither of them are kindred. There is at least one instance of a ghoul dying and coming back to life as a kindred. That was Jada Cross is the name that's coming to mind. She actually ended up becoming a thin blood because of it, but I might be saying the wrong name. Smiling Jack's ghoul. Look it up, kids. She's the one that killed Tara Kearney in the old continuity.
So Apple has been punched. She has been bitten.
Apple has been backhanded.
Apple has been backhanded. Apple has been bitten. That is true.
Fed.
Just taste it. Just taste it.
You're not doing a good job keeping her safe right now, Hugo.
No, she looks incredibly happy, actually. From even though she took the blood and then took the backhand. I mean, she's standing there like, and her skin is turning red from the welt. You've witnessed the things Avedon's capable of. You're sure that if she wanted to kill the girl, she would have. But she very much is like,
Sherry, what is wrong with your family?
If you weren't down for some Todd Kenrick bullshit before, get ready for this. What flaw can I possibly take?
To do what?
Permanently.
To do what?
Forever. I'm going to go up to Apple. And I totally get you can say no. No, it's totally okay. I look over at Cherry. I'm the monster. You are not. I slice Apple. And I feed Cherry's vitae. Trying to turn her with a mix of my own blood, but I do not. I will sacrifice anything, all my experience points. I will take whatever I have to for her not to look like me, to look like herself. I will take what horrible flaw. I will have 3 eyes. I will be a slug oozing with nothing but 8 fangs. I want to make her a vampire. I want her to be safe. I want her to be strong. And I'm willing to die for it.
Cherry.
And this character.
Cherry and Esther have ranks in celerity,
Correct.
correct? But only Cherry and Esther have ranks of celerity, correct?
I
I'm willing to
actually
kill
do
them too,
not.
by the way.
I have
I have 2 ranks of
aspects and
celerity.
presence, but no celerity.
No celerity. Esther
Yep.
and Eli, you were the only two that are fast enough that you could do something before this happens. You all see Hugo stalk towards her. You see him drawing the knife in semi-slow motion for the two of you. Because again, you guys are supernaturally fast. Are you doing it with a knife or your claws?
I am doing with my claws, and I'm making. I am saying this. You have not been on this world for very long. It is your choice. I will snap off my entire arm if that means you are safe. This is you and your moment. Understand that. Being human is one of the last things I liked about myself. And I don't like who I am now. But someone needs to protect Jerry. And I don't know that I know how.
You see that like she's sort of looking around the room, and you all see the shadows around her look like they get a little bit darker. And you see like they sort of like play over her a little bit, and she looks almost like the circles under her eyes get like much darker, and quite frankly she looks way more menacing even though she's like 14. And she just looks down at her hand and she goes, "No, Hugo, this is fantastic. Is there more of this?" And she looks right past Hugo at you, Avedon, and says, "Is there more of this? I want more of this."
You're cut off.
Make her safe. Tell them it's my fault.
She should be able to protect herself now, Hugo. I think.
Yeah, you
I
see-
think you're-
Tell
Your
them it's my
chocolate is-
fault. It's my fault. Let them burn me.
You see Hugo, even as she's like looking down, it's almost like if she'd been lit on fire, but instead of flames, it's tiny bits of shadow. Like you've seen what Avedon is capable of, where it's like full like eruptions of these things. It's not that. It is very much just like dancing over her skin. And she's just like standing there smiling, like, yes, yes.
Now
I've
that-
seen enough. I'm gonna tackle Hugo. I don't give a shit.
And I say, that being said, and as soon as he goes in for the tackle, I'm gonna make sure that that like Apple's facing away, and when Apple is, I'm going to try to give another dot of blood to her mom so that she again can actually stand up.
If nobody like tries to intervene or anything, it is very easy. Like she's not going anywhere, and you're like, cool, hold on. Boop. And she just sort of like sits there for a moment. Give me your strength and brawl, Eli.
Is this the same? Does this count? Is this a different scene? Do I need to rouse my blood again?
No, I will give it to you that this is continued.
All right.
Esther, again, you also are supernaturally fast. That you see like Eli sort of like in his direction. What is
Oh, I
Esther
don't
do?
care.
I want to move really hard, so I'm gonna spend one of my last willpower too.
Okay.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Crit or no crit?
A one regular crit. So.
Okay, give me your strength and brawl, Hugo, to resist this. You don't see him coming, but you know once he hits, you can do what you do.
Talk about dice. So I have strength of 4. Let's go and do that. I have potence of 3.
He's a strong boy.
Me too.
And I will burn all of the willpower I have.
I've got one more left. I'll.
Oh, I have more. So
I do-
currently
well,
I'm at
let-
4 willpower. What do I need to do?
Do either of you have the prowess potency?
Oh, wait,
ability?
wait. So 4 strength brawl, right? As well?
Strength and brawl. Yep.
Oh,
strength
yeah, I
brawl.
got potence of 3. So.
But do you specifically have the power of prowess?
I mean, I could not. I didn't choose it. I was trying for the.
It's Schrodinger's power.
I will be completely honest. I was trying for the strongest boy.
Well, then
That was
prowess would be. Does Eli have it?
What is that? What is that under? Is that a discipline?
It is the 2nd level potence power.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know it was a thing. I got it.
Yeah, I was
Yes,
trying
there
for
it is.
Vampire
Yes,
Superman.
Eli has it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, no,
But without the good
Then
luck.
yes.
I would say you have it. Yeah, to be clear, again, we haven't discussed this here.
Yeah,
Most of them have. This is their first time playing Vampire. Actually, everybody but May. This is their first time playing Vampire. So
Hey,
for
I
each,
played it before.
I mean,
but it was
V5.
the 90s.
V5. This is their first time in V5 in the modern era. Your hipster cred's intact.
I was on rollerblades.
Each discipline has 5 levels, and you can take up to 5 total powers. But each level, you can either pick a power of that level or one of the previous powers. But yes, I will say you both have prowess, which means you can both add your potence dice to this exchange.
So I had 6. Now I need to roll more. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
keep
out.
that. Just
You're so lucky I said
because
roll
I think
the
you
dice.
said you had. I think you said you
Thank
had
you
one.
for sending all the dice, by the way.
So that
because
brings me
this
up to
is a moment.
8.
I believe you had 1 crit die before. You still only
I
have the
did.
1 crit die.
Yeah, I had one crit die. Yeah.
Okay, so how much willpower can I burn?
So you can spend 1 to re-roll up to 3 black dice.
And potence is like auto?
Technically, you need to do a rouse check, but for this rule of cool, I didn't make him do it, so I'm not making you do it. So this will just be a push.
I did
here.
before.
6, 7.
Oh,
So 7.
well, you did a
shit.
rouse check to raise your attributes by rousing the blood. Prowess
you're
is a
right.
different power.
Gotcha. Okay, you're right. And how? So can you spend multiple willpower in the same roll?
You can.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm fucked.
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows?
Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, and then a Nosferatu face because apparently I'm reading tea leaves. I've got 2 dark, and I've got 3 potence.
Well, no, the potence is extra dice. So have
okay.
You've
So
got
I
3
will-
potence. Roll
I
3
will
more
roll
dice.
those. Apologies. And that's 3 successes. And I am willing to turn those 2 black into burn 2 willpower to turn those blacks.
You just have to
to
roll. You have to roll. Burn 1 willpower to re-roll them both.
And I got a Nosferatu face.
So that means that is a crit now for the 2 Nosferatu faces. So how many do you have total?
Oh God. Chat. A lot.
We
1,
had
2.
Well, was it? What did you end up with? 8, Eli?
Yeah, I had 8.
Okay.
Oh God.
You need at least 9 because a tie will go to him. Ties
I
go to the
rolled-
active kindred.
Okay, I had potence. I rolled 5. And you got 2 black, and then I rolled my potence, and then those were successful. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel like it's a tie.
If it is a tie, it goes to the active kindred. Eli, you pounce forward and slam into him, and you feel he like tenses up like he is sort of a brick wall, but you get your arms around him and you hear, "Hey, hang on." And you feel a knife right here, Eli.
Okay.
Hands off the cousin. And you all see 4 people appear right there in the room. They are 4 terrible looking Nosferatu. I think we're supposed to be getting you out of here, right? Or maybe we're just gonna cut off your fucking head. And that's a good place for us to stop.
You're ending it? I just want to say I have rapid reflexes. I'm gonna.
He really wants to
I'm gonna spend a whole week considering what I'm going to do.
Oh.
No, it doesn't hurt you. It just very much
I
like
still-
you're like
I
boom,
still-
and it's like, hey.
I still
hey.
lean into Apple.
protect your sister in the way that I can.
We're
Forever.
gonna have a conversation next week, Hugo.
Cool.
Oh, don't worry. There won't be speaking. You won't hear much of that voice.
That's not where thought this was going, but here we are. Let me ask you this: I know we announced the sub goal late. Did we hit the sub goal?
indeed.
We did.
Yeah.
What? We
Hugo
hit the
is
sub goal.
Hugo lives.
Hugo,
But wait till next week.
lives.
Because if we don't hit the sub goal next week,
No,
he
you stop
dies.
it. We're not gonna keep emotionally extorting.
So if
Chad
you
here.
have
I mean,
not,
we will just for different
I
reasons.
will take Mason with
if you
me. I mean, his
if you
character.
have not already
Right.
entered,
Try.
go ahead and type !LUD level up dice over in chat so we can get you entered. I'll close that here in just a minute. But everyone in this chat, or like everyone playing right now, has some really cool projects
They all
going
win?
on, and I don't want to forget to mention them this time. So can we?
Believe it or not, I gotta bounce myself because I have to do a Reddit AMA right now, which I'm gonna retweet. You can find the link on my Twitter at bdavewalters right now. If oh, hang on, wait, I'll drop it in chat. We can do this. We have the technology. So let me just say, yes, I am B-Dave Walters. Thank you to all you beautiful people for being amazing, like delightful train wrecks of human beings and kindred. My graphic novel Electropunk is going right now on Kickstarter, so if you like dopeness, please come check that out. And I'm streaming all the time, including with both Melee Damage and the beautiful Todd Kenrick there, where we usually are less terrible. Usually.
I'm being wonderful, and I'm willing to make it up to Twitch to vote on whether Apple gets turned or not.
Yeah, I've been on the internet. I know what those savages will choose.
Oh boy.
So yes, I myself have to bounce here sooner
We
than
have our
later.
winners.
But
We have our
Yay.
winners, and then we'll
I didn't
head
mean
out
to
so
su-
that B-Dave can go do his thing. Sit.
no, I didn't
Yeah,
mean to
B-Dave,
soak
run.
up everybody else's time. You guys absolutely still do your promo. May's got Denver by night. You all have things that are happening. Please hype your things. In fact, I can start the AMA without turning off the camera. So just
That's
understand,
true.
I'm
Yeah,
not
it's
listening.
still there.
And there's the link.
It's weird.
Yes.
You can type and be on
So
camera. It's
strange.
insane.
Weird. Hashtag multitasking. Yes. So come ask me anything. You can ask about this. You can ask about LA by night, Long Beach by night, anything you want to do. And thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Project.
So, our winners for the Vampire the Masquerade dice are Darth and Trary 1313. Go ahead and shoot me an email. Sith Wizard, go ahead and shoot me an email. And Lex and Kai. I think that's how you say that. Guys, go ahead and shoot me an email with whatever clan you'd like for your vampire dice, and I'll go ahead and get those sent out. Diana at levelupdice.net. I'm the only one, so that'll be really easy to take care of. But
I have a
Yeah.
question. The purple star, what does that mean in Twitch chat?
the purple star means they're a subscriber.
That is excellent because I see almost all
We got so many
subs.
stars tonight, you guys.
Yay!
So
Yay.
many stars.
It's because you guys are stars.
Everyone wanted to save
Everyone
Hugo.
wanted to save Hugo.
Very thrilling.
Yeah, I want to retract my subscriptions I donated.
Wow, Mason.
Yeah, due to circumstances.
For reasons.
That'll be like next week. Every
Listen,
sub
your
we
cowboy
get is-
magic is no match for my Viking.
We are the
Nosferatu
same age.
magic.
I will fuck you up.
I just appreciate every sub next week is one round out of the chamber of Eli's gun.
That's actually how we're gonna just
Oh, that's
determine
okay.
how
I
we
don't
roll.
believe in guns.
I love you all and you're terrible. Yes, no, but please give everyone else a chance to. Everyone's doing so many things.
May, where
So
can
yes.
we find you during the week?
On Wednesdays, you can find me on Q Times at 5 to 7. Denver by night will be back this week. We took a break for Jasper's game day and one before, but we are back this week, Wednesday. And let's see, Thursday. Are we going on break now? Because yesterday was the finale for Dark and Wish.
This was the finale of Dungeons and Dragons: A Dark and Wish. We are coming back for season 2, but we will be dark at least next week. Honestly, we'll probably be dark 2-ish weeks, pending how the crow flies, and by crow I mean contracts and budgets. So probably 2-ish weeks, but we definitely will be back.
Yes, Friday here. Sunday, we also will come back soon with Long Beach by Night. Most of the time, though, when I'm not doing all of this, I'm running games on my Patreon. So if you guys ever want a game where I am your storyteller for Vampire, you can hit me up on there and find me on all the socials at whatever the social is, Melee Damage. And that's me. That's me.
Who is an amazing person and my future best friend.
Todd, what are you doing through the week?
You are awesome.
Where can people find you?
What? I'm Todd Kenrick. I do stuff.
I just like the record to show, despite that insanity that you just saw, he also made a 7-year-old girl a warlock in our D&D game on Tuesday. So it's
it's a theme, and I'm not
pieces.
necessarily wholly comfortable with that. But yeah, no,
Pieces
I'm
this
all
week.
about giving magic away for free because I don't know, I'm a horrible capitalist. I'm Todd Kenrick. I work at D&D Beyond. I do creative D&D things. I am married to the wonderful Megan Kenrick. Who is someone who should be employed but is currently not. But she has a lovely Twitch channel where she kills people on Overwatch and plays D&D as well. So you should check that out.
Mason.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm on Twitch. It's WizardXTV. We do D&D and Call of
And his
Cthulhu.
character on Vampire is about to die.
Well, we'll see.
Be more excited about your
Oh,
D&D
no,
games.
no,
Roll of Fate is amazing. Call of Cthulhu is awesome. You stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursday nights, right?
That is
That's
true.
true.
And then, yeah, that is true. Thank you.
Yeah,
Daniel.
you know, I
Good
tried.
job.
That is very effective
You know.
hyping there.
And then his character
No, his character's
died
not
next.
going to die. We like
I'm
him a
really
lot. Todd.
excited for next
B-Dave, even though he's doing his AMA, check out the Electropunk Kickstarter because it's really, really super cool. Yeah. Level Up Dice made some cool things to go along with that just because we love the project so much. And B-Dave's put a lot of effort into that, so it's super cool. He does everything, basically. Like I would try and list the things that you do, B-Dave, but it's everything.
I can barely list them.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Every minute of every day,
When do I get my
there's
dice?
something happening.
You
in
get
the
all
world
sorts of
B-Dave.
cool stuff.
Oh.
You get all sorts of cool stuff for back in the project. I'm just saying.
It's amazing. It's a really, I would have backed it had I not even known B-Dave.
This is my celebrity
really cool.
my celebrity endorsements. Thank you, guys. I appreciate
You.
this.
And of course, Emily, Justice, and myself are always around with Level Up Dice. Rolling dice. That's kind of all we do. We're low key like that. We're low maintenance. But thank you guys all so much for showing up and for making this a wonderful experience for us. We'll be back for more Vampire the Masquerade next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So enjoy, you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you all.